current WWE product is absolutely terrible. If you don't think so, then you are not right up here, my dear friends. The current WWE product is absolutely terrible for a variety of reasons. We all know what those reasons are. Number one being creative. Now, why are they so terrible? No, it's not Vince McMahon. We could easily pinpoint that Vince McMahon is a problem, and he is the cancer. He is the root of the problem on WWE television. But there's one other reason why the product sucks on Monday and Friday night, and that is Bruce Prichard. Bruce Prichard is just as big of a cancer than Vince McMahon is. Now, I mention his name every single week. I mention Bruce Prichard almost daily on this platform when it comes to WWE programming. But why is Bruce Prichard ruining the show? Who is frustrated with Bruce Prichard on Monday Night Raw? And for what reason are they frustrated with Bruce Prichard as head of Monday Night Raw? We will go over that on Off the Script today. Randy Orton and Alexa Bliss had a moment of piss on Monday Night Raw. A segment that I personally did not like. You might have liked the segment. There are those who did not like it, like myself. There are those that did like it because they are enamored with the current story of Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton and what the history between the two men could potentially lead to as far as a match goes on WWE Monday Night Raw. But what if I told you there are people in the back? There are people in management. There are writers on Monday Night Raw that did not like the way this segment came off. Now, if you guys were paying attention on my Monday Night Raw post show, you would already know the reason for this because I went over it almost immediately when we talked about that segment. But what if I told you Vince McMahon did not give a shit about what anybody thought of that segment, and Vince McMahon was hands-on with the segment, and Vince McMahon thinks this is the right way to go as it pertains to Bray Wyatt's character with Alexa Bliss? Frustration everywhere in WWE. We're going to talk about those frustrations right here on episode 354 of Off the Script.
Delete! This is mine.
What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is episode 354 for your Saturday afternoon, December number 5, 2020. Frustration is the name of the game today, man. You're frustrated. I'm frustrated. The WWE roster is frustrated. And it's not difficult to figure out why. Unbelievable, man. This is news that I knew was eventually going to come. This is news that I am not surprised by at all. And news that I relish in. Relish in the fact that I know and have been right as usual. I mean, who's better than me? Who's better than me, man? Nobody. I've been prepping you guys for months on this particular situation. Now we just wait for a mass exodus from WWE. Can't wait to talk about it, man. Bruce Prichard is a thorn in everybody's asshole. Bruce Prichard is a cancer. Bruce Prichard needs to be fired. He needs to be fired. He wasn't even on Raw Monday. Or at Raw. He's not on Raw per se. He wasn't at Raw on Monday. Where was he? I don't know. Maybe stuffing his face with a fucking sandwich. I don't know. But Triple H was on Raw, and that is the major part of the story. We're going to go over it, man. Don't go anywhere. It's going to be a loaded show. I got news on Randy Orton and Alexa Bliss. Why Vince McMahon he refused to listen to anybody's opinions on why that segment that aired on Raw should not happen. He did not care that they, in the back, did not like it. He wanted it, he pushed for it, and he made it happen. And that's the way Vince's vision is when it comes to Bray Wyatt and Alexa Bliss. And I got news on the man, the icon, Sting. Sting made waves in the world of professional wrestling this week, showing up on Dynamite, and the world is talking about All Elite Wrestling. They are talking about Sting. They are talking about the potential of Sting wrestling. They are talking about the potential of this Impact partnership with AEW, which I will not be going over in this show today. I will be saving that for Wednesday because that's the AEW day. But I got major news on Sting. Will he be wrestling for AEW? I don't think he will, but some people in the community think that is where this is all leading. And we will go over your weekly Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, NXT, AEW, all wrapped up into one, man. All the news and rumors coming out, all of the major WWE shows. This is episode 354 of Off the Script. Thank you guys so very much for joining me on today's show, man. I want to quickly shout out everybody on my Patreon page that has gone out of their way to support me and what I have been pushing for the new and improved Patreon, man. I want to shout out Paul. I want to shout out the Pro Wrestling Podcast. I want to shout out Bud. I want to shout out Nicholas, Charlie, Osaqui, Sith Negan, a.k.a. Daryl, and Walter. These are my Patreon VIPs. Right now, the majority of them have enlisted themselves into the Off the Script main event program on Patreon, which is not only going to net you this baseball back engraved mug for yourself, or if you're buying for somebody else. This is absolutely beautiful, man. I can't wait to drink out of this myself. I got a whole box of them sitting right there for you guys. This is one of the best things that I think we have ever come up with as far as merchandise goes for the branding and for the podcast. Not only will you guys get yourself one of these bad boys, but you're going to get yourself a new, brand new, exclusive t-shirt that will not be sold anywhere at all for at least the next 6 months. You guys will be getting an Are We Live Off the Script insignia t-shirt, man. I had my boy Mikey do the simple design. It is so simple, man. I wanted something simple because I'm a simple type of guy. I really am. It's a powerful statement when we go live on YouTube, and that's the first thing that you hear, man. Are we live? We are absolutely live, and we're doing it better than anybody else. So I wanted something simple, and you guys will see that. If you guys sign up to the Patreon page, immediately after I upload this, you guys will see it right there as far as Tier 1. Now, if you sign up for Tier 1, you're going to get the t-shirt. If you sign up for Tier 2, you're going to get the t-shirt and the mug, plus a bunch of other bonuses that my management team and I have come up for the holiday season, man. So it is some really cool stuff. It's a lot going on. I know it's a huge undertaking to get this out there to everybody, but I want to make sure you guys are aware. If you want the full experience, if you guys want the branded merchandise, if you want to be a part of the Off the Script family, the Patreon page is the way to go. All of the information you need is on the page, patreon.com/JD from NY206. You have to sign up. This is the most important part. To get the t-shirt and to get the mug, you guys have to sign up annually. So you guys are locked in for 12 months of support on Off the Script, man. That's the only way you're going to get the Off the Script t-shirt and the Off the Script logo baseball bat mug, man. So go and check that out. All the information you need is on the Patreon page. I want to make sure you guys are aware. TakeOver, I was going to say Saturday night. They have been on Saturday, but as of late, especially for all of 2020, NXT has moved away from kind of piggybacking off of the main roster, and now they are on Sundays all by themselves. So Sunday night, I will be live on YouTube going over NXT TakeOver War Games and what happened coming out of that show. So set your notifications. Make sure you guys are subscribed. Make sure you guys are live with me on Sunday night while we talk NXT TakeOver War Games. The build has been not really all that good. The shows have been semi-decent to okay. Nothing really exciting coming out of these shows. I just feel like War Games doesn't have the it factor this year. I'm not sure if that's a mixture of a little bit of everything, whether it's the pandemic mixed with NXT not really doing as great as they once were. I don't know if it's one or the other. I don't know what it is. I don't even know where they're emanating this thing from. For all intents and purposes, they could be coming to you and me from the Capitol Wrestling Center. How they're going to fit 2 rings and 2 steel cages, or 1 big steel cage, whatever the case may be, in that building with everything else they've added in there, I don't know. I don't know why they just don't use the Thunderdome and say, one last hurrah, goodbye, inside the Thunderdome. I don't really understand what they're doing, so we don't even know where the show is emanating from, but I will be emanating live on YouTube, so make sure you guys go and check that out on Sunday nights. Would love to have you join me if you are indeed interested in TakeOver. Follow me on Twitter, at JDFromNY206. That's on Twitter and Instagram. Thank you guys for tweeting with me all week during these shows, and AEW was massive on Wednesday night. Thank you guys for all the support. If you guys Instagram, I have been doing some giveaways on Instagram. We gave away some beautiful belt buckles and some leather belts from Anson Belt and Buckle. We gave away 2 bags of coffee of your choice from Fire Department Coffee, which I think is fantastic, man. I've been drinking them all week long, especially the spirit-infused bourbon flavor. Unbelievable, man. When you mix bourbon and coffee together, you speak in my language. They got a beautiful Christmas blend. They got a nice house blend. Awesome stuff over there, man. So congratulations to the winners over there. You guys are great, and more giveaways to come in the weeks to come leading up to Christmas. It is JD Christmas season, man. Seriously. Giving away some cool stuff, so make sure you follow me on Instagram for all of the latest giveaways and details this holiday season. Go and get your t-shirts. That is bonfire.com. Still the exclusive home of all of the general merchandise for Off the Script. Go and get your masks, mouthmasker.com/OTS. If you guys were lucky enough to get the black Off the Script masks for Black Friday, they were 50% off. So that is a great deal right there. And as always, man, the sponsor for today's show is my boys over at The Ridge. Ridge.com/script. We will talk about them a little bit later. Makes a great holiday gift in itself, man. The Ridge wallet. Make sure you guys use code SCRIPT at checkout for 10% off anything on their shop. They may be giving deals already, and I do believe that if you guys use our code on top of whatever they're already giving you for the holiday season, as far as discount goes, you guys might be saving a lot more than just the 10%. So make sure you go and check out The Ridge, man. Ridge.com/script. Use code SCRIPT at checkout. Let's get into some minor news before we hit the big boy of the week, man. WWE is bringing back the Slammy Awards. New WWE Network programming to be announced for December. WWE has posted a list of WWE Network programming that is scheduled to debut this month. Among the things listed is the return of the Slammy Awards. This would be the first Slammy Awards since 2015. There were no other details listed on the format of that show. WWE also announced that the Steve Austin Show will return to host another episode of Broken Skull Sessions, and his guest will be WWE Champion Drew McIntyre. Couple of things of note here. Number one, they're really pushing this Drew McIntyre initiative, being that they scheduled him for the Broken Skull Sessions with Stone Cold Steve Austin, which is nothing more than the Stone Cold Steve Austin Show, just in a different setting, I guess. It's the same format. I don't really see the difference in it, but it's good. It's good programming on the network. It really is. It's very engaging. You guys want to waste an hour and a half of your life? there you go. It's good, mindless entertainment to listen to some real background and some real stories from the current WWE superstars and legends that he's had on the show. The Undertaker one was fucking unbelievable. So, I mean, they're doing a good job with that type of stuff. But the Slammy Awards, man, I don't really get the Slammy Awards. It's just WWE wanting to add content to the network. I don't know why the Slammy Awards would be important to anybody at all, unless you're in grade school and you're in homeroom and you're talking about this with the kid sitting behind you. Oh, did you see Kevin Owens won Best Slammy of the Year, man, or whatever the case may be. The Slammy Awards mean nothing. It's nothing more than a prop. It's nothing more than a WWE tool to make superstars appear more than they really are. For example, they'll use this type of thing to enhance Charlotte's already kind of overexposed and undeserving resume. Instead of everything that she's already done, WWE will list that off and shill that to you on Monday Night Raw, and then they'll add 2 Slammies to that to make her seem more than she really is. They'll go out there and pretend that she's the greatest female performer of all time, and we all know that she's not. She's not. Nowhere even close. Everything on her resume is a fucking asterisk. She's not the greatest. She will never be the greatest. And I think more and more people are starting to open up their eyes to that fact. Okay? Now, this is the list. Now, I'm sure some Charlotte Flair geek is watching me. Some Charlotte Flair fan. The super fans are watching me. Oh, JD is so negative, man. I can't stand him. It's true. Don't kill the messenger, man. Open up your fucking eyes. This is the list of everything that WWE has on the network coming this month. We got Drew McIntyre. It's called Drew and A. Matthew McConaughey. Is that Drew McIntyre doing an open Q&A with Matthew McConaughey? I don't know who the fuck wants to see that. NXT TakeOver War Games, which is Sunday night. I will be live on YouTube. We got a WWE 24 special. Keith Lee. That should be interesting. WWE, the day of Survivor Series 2020, which I am sure they had cameras rolling for The Undertaker's final farewell. WWE Untold, Goldberg's streak. Now, I don't know why we care about that, but I'm sure WWE is gearing up for Goldberg to get back into the ring at some point in the next couple of months, being that it will be WrestleMania season pretty soon. WWE Break It Down, Asuka. Anything on Asuka, I'm sure, will pique people's interests. First look, WWE Icons. That did look pretty interesting from the coming attractions that we've seen. Like I mentioned, the Slammy Awards, the Broken Skull session with Drew McIntyre, TLC 2020. 10 best matches of 2020. I don't really trust WWE picking those matches because they always leave out something on those lists, or something is placed lower than where it really should be. WWE Superstar Gaming Series. I don't know what that means. And new episodes of Drew and A, Uncool with Alexa Bliss, Chasing Glory with Lillian Garcia, Not Sam Wrestling, how he got a show on the WWE Network, I don't know. Of all the fucking people you want to put on the network, you're going to put Sam Roberts on there. Swerve City Podcast, Raw Talk, and of course, Talking Smack, which I watched that Kevin Owens clip from Talking Smack this past week with Paul Heyman. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent stuff there. If you missed that, go out of your way and watch the interaction between Kevin Owens and Paul Heyman as they are building towards that match at TLC between Owens and Roman Reigns. Why that type of stuff is not on SmackDown, I don't know. But that's what happens when the show is written in fucking 5 minutes and presented at 7:55. I'm not surprised by that at all. Stuff like that should be on the show. Absolutely should be on the show and not on Talking Smack, because I don't think anybody is watching Talking Smack. Nobody's waking up at 10 o'clock on a Saturday morning to watch fucking Talking Smack. I would rather get my hours in of sleep. WWE planning on giving TLC pay-per-view matches away for free on television. I mentioned this on the Monday Night Raw post show. And I want to make sure you guys are aware of this. And the reason why they are doing this is because WWE has been pretty consistent consistent and WWE in the same sentence really doesn't make much sense because they are afraid of the word consistent. But WWE is at a place right now where they do not want to have long, excruciatingly long pay-per-views in front of a virtual fan base. There's no live audience there. It is what it is, man. It's just not an enjoyable show to watch for 4 hours, 5 hours like they were doing when live human beings were in attendance for a Royal Rumble or a WrestleMania. WrestleMania, you guys know, upwards towards 8 hours. Nobody wants to sit at home watching virtual screens. Nobody wants to be there when there's no energy in the arena for 8 hours. So what they have done with these pay-per-views is they've shortened them. We've seen 6 or 7 matches max at these shows. These shows have started at 6 o'clock with the pre-show. The actual show starts at 7. And we are off the air, folks, by 10:30. They are off the air by 10:30. 3.5 hours, maybe 11 o'clock. But Survivor Series didn't even go to 11 o'clock. They stretched up until 10:45 or so at that Undertaker final farewell. So I actually enjoy that. That is a normal length, a desirable length to those shows. Especially the B-level pay-per-views like a TLC or Hell in a Cell. You don't want to sit there for 4 hours. There's no reason for those shows to be 4 hours. And TLC had what, 5 matches? But the storyline with Roman Reigns and Jey Uso, that went about 35 minutes or so. You got the Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton match. That went about 25 minutes or so. Bayley and Sasha Banks, they got a good chunk of time. WWE did a nice job setting up those matches before we actually went into the ring for the action. I like that. I like that. I don't like a show. I never like a show that's just overbearing with match after match after match after match. I like when things are spaced out. It gives importance to whatever is happening on that show and what's happening in that moment. So I think WWE's done, believe it or not, a very good job with the length of their pay-per-views. Now, if you look at the possible card for TLC, we may be looking at 8 or 9 matches. That fits into the mentality of old WWE when they were doing shows in front of live audiences. So WWE doesn't want to have that happen this year with TLC. So they are planning on giving TLC matches away for free on television. Now, whatever is going to make it to the pay-per-view, I have no idea. WWE might have some of those matches happen on Monday Night Raw. They might have some of those matches happen on SmackDown. They might have some of those matches happen at TLC. But all I know is that they are planning on giving some of these less important matches, the matches that haven't had much build going into TLC, they'll probably build them up somewhat and then put them on SmackDown or Monday Night Raw. Ringside News has learned that some of the matches that seems, from WWE's eyes, seems to be building towards TLC will show up on free television. We were told, says Ringside News, that the Street Profits versus Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode is likely for TLC unless they give it away on TV like they do a lot of the time. A tenured member of the writing team also told us here at Ringside News that Sami Zayn's Intercontinental title defense against Big E, although it is likely for TLC, could be given away on television instead. The general idea is that if it's not announced for the pay-per-view, then it could be held earlier to boost ratings. So obviously, WWE doesn't give a shit about this pay-per-view. They've done really nothing to, as far as build goes, put anything into this pay-per-view. We got a possible Sasha Banks versus Carmella situation happening for TLC. I don't know where that's going to happen. I would assume that's on pay-per-view because the way they've built up Sasha, you don't want to have that title match on SmackDown. You would want to have that on pay-per-view. It's a big title. It's a big title match for Carmella, even though we know she's not going to win. Bayley versus Bianca, I think that is something that they're going to save for SmackDown. It's just a regular one-on-one match. They really haven't had much as far as build goes, except from what we've seen coming out of the Survivor Series and Bayley kind of taking some cheap shots at Bianca Belair for getting counted out. Before that, on the go-home show for Survivor Series, Bayley was very obnoxious, saying that she was the captain, and Bianca was very hesitant to call Bayley the team captain for the women's team on SmackDown. There really hasn't been much going into that, so I could definitely see them holding that off for a SmackDown episode. That's a good draw. I think everybody loves Bianca. I think they're really in the mindset that Bianca is going to be a major player on the Friday night program in that women's division in general. We could see the New Day and Hurt Business end up on the pay-per-view. I think from what I have already predicted, and this is not really me stroking my own ego, this is just me knowing the product better than anybody. WWE had the Hurt Business lose 3 times, and, well, twice actually, but 3 matches they haven't gotten the job done. So there's no legitimate way, even now it doesn't make sense, there's no legitimate way that you're going to make these guys the number 1 contenders when they lost clean, especially after MVP kind of coerced the New Day into giving them a title match again in a restart on Monday Night Raw. But it's going to happen as they get a tag team title match. It's going to happen as far as the New Day losing in singles capacity. So Kofi Kingston's going to lose to whomever he faces next week. Xavier Woods is going to lose to whomever he already faced on Monday Night Raw, which I believe was Cedric Alexander. So the New Day are going to lose in singles capacity, and that is going to give the Hurt Business enough fuel to say, you know what, we already beat you in these one-on-one matches. I think we deserve a title match now. That's WWE's way of doing things that they think is right and doing things without an actual division. Those are the only 2 teams in that division. As far as the rest of the matches are concerned, you know, the United States Championship match, I don't know what that is going to be. WWE could definitely save that for a Monday Night Raw. We could see Matt Riddle versus Bobby Lashley with the attack that happened on Monday Night Raw. I don't see that going on the show. They could have 9, 10, 11 matches on TLC, but for the sake of ratings and for the sake of interest on these shows, especially during the holiday season where we all know they don't do anything on these shows, WWE is probably going to save a handful of these matches for the upcoming weeks when things are slow, notoriously slow, during the Christmas and New Year's holiday. So I'm glad WWE is giving away some stuff for free because it's not pay-per-view worthy yet. With the proper build, it would be pay-per-view worthy. They're just not in that zone right now. They're never in that zone. But for the sake of ratings on Monday and Friday night, WWE is going to give these matches away for free because somehow they think Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler challenging the Street Profits for the tag team titles on SmackDown are going to be a ratings extravaganza. I don't know. So that is what you guys have to look forward to in the weeks to come. TLC is not going to be as loaded as you may be thinking. WWE wants a decision made by early January on whether they can have fans at the Royal Rumble. Now, it's been very well documented that WWE wants to have fans in attendance for next year's Royal Rumble pay-per-view event. I would actually love that. I can't stand to watch these shows and watch these virtual versions on the WWE screens inside the Thunderdome. And the Royal Rumble will be here before you know it, man. It's already December 5th. We got 20 days until Santa Claus comes down and eats your fucking cookies and drinks your milk and leaves you a fucking brick of coal because you were a negative fucking prick this year. I know I'm not getting a brick of coal. I'm too good for that, man. Santa knows. Santa knows. But before you know it, ideally, the Royal Rumble is usually something that just comes like that. It comes right up on you, man. As soon as we end Christmas, we're into New Year. We're already talking about the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania season will have already begun. Now, typically, this event takes place in the last weekend or on the last weekend of January. But the company is yet to confirm a date for the show. And they have the leniency of doing that. They have the pleasure of doing that because they're not actually selling tickets for the fucking thing. So they could announce the date whenever they want. We know the Royal Rumble is happening. It's coming. But they're not selling tickets, so they don't have to worry about selling tickets or selling out a venue. They can announce the date whenever the fuck they want. It's been reported that WWE is working on something different for the Royal Rumble. The company hasn't had fans in attendance for their shows because of obvious reasons. They've had previous plans of having fans back in attendance that dates back to July. But month after month, those plans get axed. And I'm not talking about the deodorant, folks. They get canned. WrestleVotes reported today that WWE wants to know whether they can have fans attend Royal Rumble by January 7th. Now, if they get the green light to do so, then an announcement would be made immediately after that date. They say, and I quote on Twitter, internally, WWE is said to want a decision on whether fans are permitted for the Royal Rumble by January 7th, with a possible announcement of sorts coming that weekend. Source states odds are 50-50 right now. Important month ahead for the E. Now, I don't know what they're waiting for. He says if they get green lighted to do this announcement, what exactly is their holdup? WWE can have fans. Florida is wide open. That's why all these major sports are emanating from Florida. You can have fans or you cannot have fans. That is up to you and your discretion. AEW has fans every single week. What's stopping WWE? Now, I don't know what they're waiting for. Are they waiting for themselves to get themselves properly built to a point where they can have fans and take all the proper precautions to keep everybody safe and keep everybody in the mentality of, hey, WWE is going the extra mile to keep us safe. I'm worried about going. I want to go, but then I'm worried about going because of WWE's nature around this COVID-19 pandemic. They have been kind of lazy with it in the past. What exactly are they waiting for? It's up to them. Ron DeSantis has given everybody in the state of Florida the restrictions that they could abide by. Now, I'm not thinking WWE is going to sell out Tropicana Field. I don't think it would be wise of them to do that. Knowing Vince, he probably wants to do that. But I don't know what they're waiting for as far as the green light goes. It's all on them. It's all on them. Maybe WWE is looking for some kind of guidance from government officials to kind of give them a number as the max they could fill Tropicana Field with. But being that Tropicana Field is an open-air stadium with a retractable dome, WWE should have no problem spacing people out and doing what they need to do. It's all on them. They either want to do it or they don't want to do it. So I don't know exactly what they're waiting for as far as a green light goes. WWE's moving, if you guys have not realized this, they're moving out of the Amway Center. They're moving into Tropicana Field, which is a baseball stadium, and they're moving in there on December 11th. So we just got SmackDown last night. Next week's SmackDown is going to emanate from Tropicana Field. So we're going to see Tropicana Field debut on Friday night on Fox. I have mentioned this last week. There will be no difference in how the show is portrayed. It's going to look a little different, but the same substance that you've been seeing on Friday night is going to remain the same, which, to me, doesn't really make for a good show. The venue doesn't add to anything. I've said this time and time and time again for months now. You guys should know this like the back of your fucking hand. Now, as far as moving into Tropicana Field, the reason why they're moving into Tropicana Field is because it keeps up the consistency of WWE holding the Royal Rumble inside baseball stadiums. So that is that. I'm not sure if that was their first choice, but given the fact that WWE usually has been on this thing about Royal Rumble emanating from baseball stadiums, I think that kind of fit into that as well and really made that decision a little bit easier. Now, since it's in Florida, Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, remains relaxed on COVID-19 guidelines compared to other states. It's possible WWE can have fans in attendance. I don't know how many fans, but AEW has been holding shows at Daily Place for several weeks with hundreds of fans in attendance. And I don't think we've heard anything bad come out of Daly's Place in Jacksonville. Fans need to be at the Royal Rumble. Fans need to be at the Royal Rumble. If they are allowed to, they have to have fans at the Royal Rumble. I do not want to watch the Royal Rumble with virtual fucking screens. The whole great feeling of the Royal Rumble is fans in attendance. You feel the energy of that match. From that match, you get everybody counting down with the buzzer from 10 to 0 when it goes off. You need fans in attendance. I don't care how many people are there. You need fans. You need people, live human beings in attendance. You can't start the new year with the same premise that you've ended 2020 with. You can't have the virtual screens be the only thing that we see on these shows. If you're allowed to have fans, you better start preparing now for fans to be in that building on the last Sunday of January. You got enough time to do it. Get off your fucking ass and plan something that's going to keep everybody safe and going to make the show a little bit more enjoyable for us at home as well. We're tired of seeing the same shit, and the ratings reflect that. People aren't watching because, A, the product sucks, creative sucks, there is absolutely nothing coming from anybody on that roster that we want to invest in, and I think people are just exhausted watching a fucking show with virtual geeks. Get fans in attendance. Do what you got to do. I want my Royal Rumble, especially when WrestleMania comes around. I don't want a repeat of what we've seen. And I know, if anything, Vince McMahon's not going to have a virtual-only WrestleMania. Start with the Royal Rumble. It is your biggest show of the year outside of WrestleMania. Do not do it dirty. Get the proper precautions in place. Get the restrictions that you could work with in place. And do what you need to do. Now, WWE's move to Tropicana Field has not been an easy one. There's been some problems moving into Tropicana Field. Ringside News has learned that right now, that Tropicana Field and the move into that baseball stadium is a concern only for those at high levels in the company. Most aren't thinking about moving right now when there are still shows to produce. A time will come for the entire staff, talent, and operations to make a move into Tropicana Field. A tenured member of the team told us here at Ringside News that right now people like Vince McMahon, the Beaver, and set designer Jason Robinson are getting things ready. Other than that, there is no planning happening at the moment. It has also come up, a problem has come up inside Tropicana Field that a colony of pigeons, yes, pigeons, resides in Tropicana Field. Now, I don't know how bad that problem is. This is the first I'm hearing of that. I am no stranger to watching pigeons on a baseball field during a baseball game. Now, Ringside News has been told that everyone is very well aware of the possibility of pigeon interference during a Raw or during a SmackDown. I would love to see that, actually. Imagine a pigeon interfering in a Baron Corbin match, man. The jokes would be endless. Not even the fucking pigeons give a shit about Baron Corbin. Now, I don't know what they could possibly do about that. I mean, you're not going to go in there and exterminate these motherfuckers. You're not going to go in there and move them. You're not going to do anything to them. You're going to have to live with that problem. Now, if WWE did some research, they would have found out that problem before they actually chose Tropicana Field. Because that's going to be a fucking nightmare for Kevin Dunn. You know how meticulous that guy is? You know how meticulous that fucking bucktooth fucking beaver is? Can you imagine a pigeon coming into frame on Monday night or Friday night and them shitting on a fucking superstar, or them kind of swooping on in from center field and fucking just sitting down on the turnbuckle? Maybe the pigeons attack because they think themselves that the show is fucking terrible. I would love to see it. I would love to see it, man. That would make headlines all over the place, man. I'd probably get an extra 10,000 views on my Monday Night Raw review because of that particular situation happening. I'd love it. But can you imagine? I guarantee you the internal discussion right now, as far as Vince McMahon and Kevin Dunn is concerned, is how can we eradicate them completely? They can't do anything about it. Not unless they want the fucking animal police to come and make problems for them. WWE's not going to do anything to sully their name bad or on top of what's already being said about them this year with everything that's happened. WWE's not going to do anything about it. They have to live with it. Pigeons. Pigeons could be a nightmare for Kevin Dunn for the next 3 months until baseball season starts, folks. It will be glorious. I can't wait to see what happens, but that is the backstage progress right now of the move from Amway Center into Tropicana Field. Nothing right now is being planned. WWE's obviously getting shit ready there so they can move everything from Amway, the ring, and the Thunderdome, and all that stuff's got to be set up. WWE is doing all of that, but there is no planning on top of anything else, and the pigeons situation, WWE is just going to have to live with. So they know of these issues, and it's not going to be an easy move into Tropicana Field. This is the big one, folks. This is the big one. WWE talent is frustrated with Bruce Prichard. Now, I don't have any notes here or anything on Bruce himself, okay? I got the bullet points here that I'm going to talk about as it pertains to this story. PW Insider has news, Ringside News has news, and Fightful, I believe, has news. Bruce Prichard was given the position of Raw Executive Director in replace of Paul Heyman for one reason and one reason only. And that is because he is the biggest Vince McMahon cocksucker that is currently employed in the company not named Kevin Dunn. Okay? Now, I don't know if there was an issue between Bruce Prichard and Paul Heyman. There might have been, I don't know. Paul Heyman will always be looked at as an outsider in WWE because he made headlines against WWE when he ran ECW. Then when ECW was bought out by Vince, Paul Heyman needed a job. They didn't really treat him like the genius that he was. So he took whatever pay they offered him to be a WWE personality, and nobody really respected him. I think the respect from WWE management started to come when they paired him with Brock Lesnar, because there was always a close personal bond between Lesnar and Paul Heyman. If you wanted Lesnar, you had to have Heyman in that package. It's always been a deal, okay? I don't know what the case is on top of that. I'm pretty certain that is the way WWE views Paul Heyman. But Bruce Prichard is a soldier of war for Vince McMahon. Going on 30 years, he has worked most of his life under Vince McMahon. Nobody knows Vince McMahon better than Bruce Prichard, okay? He's legitimately Vince McMahon number 2. He is number 2 in charge, has been for the majority of his run in WWE. I don't know what had happened when Paul Heyman was exited from Monday Night Raw. I don't know why Bruce was given the Monday Night Raw position on top of what he was already doing on Friday Night SmackDown. But there was some animosity there. I don't know if Paul Heyman was trying to upstage Bruce Prichard. I don't know if Bruce felt that Paul Heyman was trying to upstage him in the way he was handling talent on Monday Night Raw or handling storylines on Monday Night Raw, what type of influence he had on Monday Night Raw. I don't know if Bruce took offense to this because it wasn't the WWE way. I don't know if Bruce took offense to this because Paul Heyman wanted to do things that were against the morals and the standards and the mentality of WWE. Vince put Paul Heyman in that position because he knows how valuable Paul Heyman is. Whether or not Vince wanted to listen to Paul Heyman, that is a moot point right now. Paul Heyman wanted to build for the future of Monday Night and for WWE. He wanted to push stars that WWE has invested a lot of money in and signed away for the sake of signing them away to keep them away from other companies. Invested a lot of time and money into, and WWE has done nothing with. There was a handful of guys that Paul Heyman wanted to push on Monday Night Raw that right now, none of them are in a position to be pushed at all. In fact, the only thing that they're pushing is their plate towards Titus as he scoops another fucking scoop of mashed potatoes in catering. That's it. I don't know if Bruce Prichard took offense to this. So whatever the case may be, Paul Heyman was fired. Paul Heyman was fired from the Monday Night Raw executive position because of reasons that we will never find out. It is a mystery as to why Paul Heyman was fired. The only thing I could surmise is that Vince McMahon fired Paul Heyman because, in my eyes, Paul Heyman is not the type of guy, and Vince has been missing a lot of shows as of late. Vince looks at Paul Heyman as the type of guy that he cannot leave in charge. He cannot leave in charge because when the cat is away, the mice will play. Type of mentality. Paul Heyman wanted something else for Monday Night Raw. Vince knew this. Vince was not comfortable leaving Paul Heyman in charge because his vision is in jeopardy. with Paul Heyman. His vision wouldn't be 100%, which, I mean, it is another situation, another discussion as to why Paul Heyman was even hired in the first place. If Vince McMahon's going to hire somebody to write creatively and lead the creative team on Monday Night Raw, why Vince McMahon even hired him in the first place if you're not going to leave him in charge to make the show better? Like, why are you putting him in a position to write the show when all you want to do is write the fucking show and all your ideas get played out 100%? Why is Paul Heyman even there? Why is Paul Heyman even there? Vince knew this. Vince knew his vision was not going to be safe if he wasn't there. Additionally, the stockholders and the shareholders were starting to ask a little bit more as far as questions go. Why are the ratings so low? What's going on? Why is the stock plummeting? It all starts with the television. I said it from day one. It all starts with the television program. If you put out consistently good television, people will want to watch. If WWE goes and takes the proper precautions and proper practices and puts them in place and gets people excited about next week's show or the show 2 weeks from now or the show 3 weeks from now, maybe builds towards a pay-per-view that actually means fucking something, I don't know. Storylines matter, character development matters, making superstars larger than life again instead of keeping everybody on the same platform and at the same plateau where nobody feels special. They all feel the fucking same. I can't tell the difference between Rey Mysterio, Buddy Murphy, Seth Rollins, Aleister Black, Roman Reigns, this one, that one. They all feel the same. Roman Reigns is the only guy right now on WWE television that comes off as a fucking mega star, and that's it. They're doing the same thing with Jey Uso. Why can't they take what they're doing with Jey Uso and apply it to everybody else? Because God knows everybody else needs that same type of treatment. It's who you know and who likes you. That is it. It has nothing to do based on what you bring to the table as far as talent goes or look. You have the greatest look in the world. If they don't like you, then you're not going anywhere. Additionally, people started to ask on Wall Street, why are the ratings so low? So Vince McMahon went out and hired two people that everybody knows in the world of pro wrestling, Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff. And the ratings are low because of Vince McMahon. So when the ratings continue to get low, because Vince McMahon is no fucking idiot, he knew that this was nothing more than a fucking scotch tape over a gunshot wound type of deal. This was Vince McMahon putting people in place so that he will not take the fall. Instead of everybody blaming Vince McMahon, he put two people ahead of him on the creative team and made a public service announcement. Paul Heyman's going to be running Monday Night Raw. Eric Bischoff's going to be running SmackDown. And that's the way it's going to be. Paul Heyman survived longer than Eric Bischoff did, but as soon as that rating on SmackDown went from a 4 on that debut night all the way down to a fucking 2.0, what do you think they did? Was Vince McMahon going to take the heat for that? Of course not. He fired Eric Bischoff. Eric Bischoff didn't even get his fucking feet wet in that position. You heard the rumors of how Eric Bischoff didn't want anything to do with the position. He was refusing to get to know the talent. Blah, blah, blah. I don't believe any of that shit. I don't believe any of that shit whatsoever. So why would you take the position knowing that you were already going to be a fall guy? I don't know. Why would you put yourself in that position? That is why Vince McMahon hired Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff, so that the blame is not solely placed on him. So now, I don't get how this works out in Vince McMahon's eyes. Paul Heyman was fired. Eric Bischoff was fired. Eric Bischoff was replaced by Bruce Prichard. And then Paul Heyman was fired. And WWE doesn't find a new executive director of Monday Night Raw. They just give Bruce Prichard double the workload. Now, why did they give Bruce Prichard double the workload? Because Vince McMahon, go back to the first fucking thing that I mentioned, Vince doesn't trust anybody to run the show when he's not there. You put somebody else in that position, they're either going to do what they need to do, they're going to do a good job, or they're going to do something that's going to make Vince McMahon look bad. So they're not going to put somebody new in there, say Triple H, to run Monday Night Raw, or they're not going to move Bruce to Monday and give Triple H SmackDown. They're not going to do that. Because Vince McMahon would look inferior, and we all know Vince McMahon cannot look inferior. So Bruce got double the workload because Bruce is trusted by Vince McMahon. Bruce is going to run the show the same exact way. There's not going to be a difference in the show Vince puts forth or the show Bruce puts forth. Vince McMahon knows this. That's why Bruce is running both shows. Now, when Paul Heyman got placed with Roman Reigns, And Roman Reigns was easily, on that first night when they aligned, easily the most talked about thing in WWE. Bruce Prichard thought that WWE got rid of Paul Heyman. Brock Lesnar was without a WWE contract. Nobody knows what's going on with Brock Lesnar. Nobody knows if he's going to come back or not. So by all chances, that means Paul Heyman doesn't have a position on WWE television. Without Lesnar there, that's his only working role. So Bruce thought we got rid of Paul Heyman. Again, I don't know if there's some problem or turmoil there between Bruce and Paul Heyman. I have no idea. I'm only making logical, opinionated discussion. But then Roman Reigns shows up with Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman is back on WWE television. Paul Heyman is back with somebody not named Brock Lesnar. Paul Heyman is back on SmackDown. Paul Heyman is given full creative freedom with Roman Reigns, and Bruce has absolutely no influence over anything that's happening with Roman Reigns because it's all Paul Heyman's idea. It's all written and directed by Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman drives the creative as far as Roman Reigns and Jey Uso and soon to be Jimmy Uso. Roman Reigns and Jimmy Uso, Jey Uso, everything regarding them. The only person that it goes to is Paul and Roman to Vince. And that is it. That is it. Bruce doesn't like that. Bruce doesn't like the fact that he thought he got rid of Paul Heyman, and now Bruce, even in a slightly different creative role, Paul Heyman's not creatively in charge of the entire brand. Paul Heyman is in charge of the actual biggest part of the brand. And still, Paul Heyman is making Bruce Prichard look like a fucking blithering idiot. Because Bruce can't do anything creatively that is accepted and well received. Meanwhile, Paul Heyman was fired because he was doing a good job because Vince McMahon's a fucking mental nutcase. And now he's back on SmackDown doing the Roman Reigns thing, and he's doing a better job than Bruce does on both SmackDown and Raw. Folks, Bruce Prichard, there's something not right there. There's something not right there. And again, you didn't see my eyes. Look at my notes here. It has nothing to do with what's written here about Bruce Prichard and the roster being frustrated with him. This is coming from my soul. This is coming from what I watch, what I read weekly about Bruce Prichard. All you have to do is watch Monday and Friday night and know the shows are fucking terrible. They are terrible. It is very easy for you to go out there and start a podcast and say, the reason why WWE sucks is because of Vince McMahon. It's easy to do that. I am not an easy podcast. We got to dive deeper into the problem. We got to find the root of the issue. I love Jesse to death. I remember Jesse told me months ago, it doesn't matter if Bruce is there or not. The show's run by Vince McMahon. I disagree. And I like that he brings up this level of discussion with me because it brings me to a place where I know I'm not wrong. And I know I'm not wrong about this. Bruce is the second most important entity in that company. He is the only other man outside of Vince McMahon that wields the kind of power that Vince McMahon does. And that is something that we should not be talking about right now. That is not good for the product. That is not good for Raw or SmackDown. Bruce Prichard is a glorified yes man. Bruce Prichard's not going to make anybody better. Bruce Prichard's not going to drive creative. He's not going to come up with storylines that really matter. He's not going to push talent that needs to be pushed. He's not going to give opportunity to talent that has not gotten an opportunity. Bruce Prichard looks like the type of guy that'll tell you something and then go back to Vince McMahon and fucking snicker and make fun of you. This is the shit that I think about when you are not watching off the script. This is the shit I prepare myself for you guys on a weekend every single week, okay? Bruce Prichard is the type of guy that will bury somebody because he doesn't like them, and the reason for that will remain unknown. Or Vince doesn't like something, or he gets a certain feeling from Vince McMahon, he's going to do whatever Vince McMahon feels, do whatever Vince McMahon says, because he doesn't want to anger Vince McMahon. That's the type of guy we don't need in the WWE. How are we going to expect WWE to get better when Vince McMahon is there already ruining the fucking product and the shows on Monday and Friday night, and Bruce Prichard doubles down on everything that Vince McMahon does? If Vince McMahon says jump, Bruce is going to jump. If Vince McMahon says we got to push more Charlotte Flair, Bruce is going to say, let's give Charlotte Flair all the women's titles. That's not something we need. We need somebody there that's going to actively combat Vince McMahon and tell him, boss, this is not going to work. Bro, we should go this way. Man, we should go in this other direction. Hey, we should push this other guy. He's been waiting around. He's got a great look. Bruce is not going to do that. Bruce is going to say yes to everything Vince McMahon does because Bruce only cares about Bruce. Bruce doesn't give a shit about anybody on that roster. Bruce only cares about the fucking paycheck and the stock options that he has and the cozy position of power that he wields over everybody else. Bruce gets a fucking hard-on with the kind of power he wields over everybody else because he knows he has nothing else in his life. He has a shit podcast that still to this day, I don't really know how the fuck it blew up. Who the fuck is Bruce Prichard? All the amount of stories the guy has, give me a break. Give me a break. Go and tell your fucking stories, because you ain't doing a good job on Monday or Friday night. Your heyday, your glory day was back in the 90s. We ain't living in the fucking 90s anymore. You got a 60 fucking year old man in Bruce Prichard. You got a 70-year-old man in Vince McMahon spearheading Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown, and you geeks think this is the right way to lead a WWE company into the fucking future. Bruce needs to go because he's nothing more than a yes man to Vince McMahon, and Bruce will never actively combat anything Vince McMahon does or says. Simple. This is why Bruce needs to go. Now, if it was Triple H is already married to his daughter, to Vince's daughter. He's married to Stephanie. So the relationship there, he's already in the family. He's not going to fucking fire his own son-in-law. Okay? He's not going to do anything to make his daughter unhappy. Triple H knows what needs to be done. Triple H knows the talent that's been neglected. Triple H knows the talent that needs to be pushed. Triple H knows what the fans want. If you are looking at a lineup of people, you may not like Triple H. I don't really give a shit if you don't like Triple H. You may love Triple H. Triple H has done an admirable job with NXT. NXT was the biggest promotion in all of North America for years. It was the one thing that everybody, including me, covered every single week because we passionately loved the direction of NXT because we all said the same fucking thing in unison. That's the way the main roster needs to be. I said it for months, for years. That if you take whatever Triple H was doing during the glory days of NXT and apply 20%, 25% of that to the main roster will be better off for it. If you line up Triple H, Bruce, and Vince McMahon, or whoever else you want in the back, Michael Hayes, whatever the case may be, if you line up those individuals, those first three guys that I named, and I ask you to choose one to run WWE programming, who are you going to choose to run WWE programming? Is it going to be Triple H, who has a finger on the pulse of what the fans actually want? Who knows who needs to be pushed, who should be on television, who doesn't willingly neglect fucking talent? Or are you going to choose Bruce Prichard, who's actively killing the show because he's afraid to lose his position under Vince McMahon's thumb? The answer is simple, folks. It's Bruce Prichard. Bruce Prichard needs to go. Bruce Prichard should not be running one show, let alone two fucking shows. But here we are with him spearheading Monday and Friday night. This is the guy that I'm supposed to lean my shoulder on and offer my interest to with the show that he's running. And I know he's actively burying talent. This is the guy I'm supposed to dedicate my weekly TV schedule to. And we get nothing in return. We get absolutely nothing but disappointment in return. Bruce Prichard is an active part of why WWE is as bad as it's ever been. In some cases, you may say, and I would not bat an eyelash, you could tell me that, JD, I think the WWE shows right now are the worst they've ever been, and I would not even argue with you over that. I would not combat that at all. This is the worst the product has been in all the years I have watched the product. And we're talking about a mid-90s WWE that we seen in 1994, 1995, 1996. That was just god-awful. God-awful. WWE talent is reportedly frustrated with Bruce Prichard. PW Insider reported this week that the current creative in WWE falls directly in the hands of Vince McMahon and Bruce Prichard. They also noted that someone in the company described Prichard as the most powerful person in the company who is not a part of the McMahon family. If you are a fan of what WWE is doing lately, or if you are not a fan, then you can point to Prichard as the person responsible for what you are seeing on Raw and SmackDown. Of course, McMahon has the final say in everything, but PWI reports that Prichard is very much gospel for Vince McMahon. Folks, I've been saying this for months. If Vince says something, Bruce is going to utter those same sentiments. He will not combat Vince McMahon when something like that happens. Even if he thinks something is not right, he will say whatever Vince McMahon regurgitated. Just for the sake of his own self and his own position. That's not the type of guy we need running this show. That's not the type of guy I want the talent to go and express their concerns to, because he doesn't give a shit. If Vince doesn't give a shit, then by default, Bruce Prichard's not going to give a shit. And if he does give a shit, or if he comes off in a way where he gives a shit, he's going to pretend to care about you and your concerns and then go back to Vince McMahon and talk shit about you. He don't give a fuck about you. He don't give a fuck about anybody like an Aleister Black or a Ricochet. Ricochet probably expressed himself, bro, what's going on here? I'm tired, Ali. Use me. And then he'll go back to Vince McMahon and snicker about, this vanilla midget Ali wants some time on TV. Ha, 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 ha. He sucks. There's no money in him. So they put him in retribution knowing that the fucking group was dead. Wrestling news. .co has heard from wrestlers frustrated with their lack of TV time. PW Insider additionally reported that same thing. Said to be, there's a lot of frustration and heat with Bruce Prichard being expressed privately amongst the talent. Now, unfortunately, with so many people on the main roster, they aren't going to find time for everybody. Some of that frustration is with Prichard, but others have privately expressed frustration with the company in general for hiring so many people just to stack their roster. Ringside News has been told that Bruce Prichard is terribly unpopular with the talent. There is a reason for that, and it stems from how he handles this role as executive director of Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. A tenured member of the team has told us at Ringside News that everyone in that position has a little bit of bullshit artist in them. The issue resides in how openly Prichard plays games with people's lives. It was also told to us that Bruce Prichard will set up talent and then he stooges off a story to Vince McMahon designed to push his own agenda. He will do this by either pushing people he wants to see elevated or by burying others. He wants to bury people for no exact reason. End quote. Folks, I take great pride in what I express on this show. If I come off as negative, or if I come off like I'm some crazy conspiracy theorist, and I don't work there, and I don't know any of these fucking people, it's because I care. Okay? I know I am right about this. If you guys recall the episode with Sasha Banks that I did when Sasha had openly quit WWE, she walked out. I did an entire 45-minute monologue on Sasha Banks and why the woman walked out. It wasn't a situation that I knew anything about. All I had to do was watch the show and know who Sasha Banks is as a human being. The amount of feedback I got on that episode, probably one of the most watched episodes of Off the Script of all time. God knows who watched that video. I've had people reach out to me about that video saying, man, you were 100% right about that situation. I know I was. All you have to do is watch the show. All you have to do is watch the show as an eagle-eyed fan with intent and care. I care about Sasha Banks, so every situation that they put her in, I kind of felt it was going to lead to that type of situation anyway. And then boom. All you have to do is pay attention to what had happened previously for the first 12 months of that run up until WrestleMania, where they won the women's titles and then lost the women's titles at WrestleMania, and just backtrack 12 months. It's not difficult to figure out why the woman left and why the woman was unhappy. Just piece the puzzle together. The same situation applies here with Bruce Prichard. I don't know why Bruce Prichard wasn't at Monday Night Raw. I read a report. I don't know if it was with Meltzer or somebody else. Bruce Prichard was not at Monday Night Raw for whatever reason. I don't give a shit why he wasn't there. I know for a fact the show was written late, or things were scrapped in the original script, and a script wasn't delivered until 7:45. The same fucking bullshit story that we see and read every single week when it comes to Raw and SmackDown. The same situation has been happening on both shows. I don't know or care why Bruce Prichard wasn't there. Triple H was at Monday Night Raw to fill in. Now, Triple H didn't have any creative freedom on this show. He had nothing to do with the segments on Monday Night Raw. He had nothing to do with how anything ended up being portrayed on Monday Night Raw. He didn't factor into outcomes or endings of matches. He didn't factor into creative. We know this. The show was already written, scrapped, and then rewritten by Vince McMahon and approved by Vince McMahon. Triple H had no influence over anything on that show on Monday night. Why was Triple H there? I don't know. Maybe Triple H was just a warm body to fill in for Bruce Prichard as he sat next to his father-in-law in Gorilla. But Triple H, as he made use of his time on Monday night, I can guarantee you, without any knowledge of the situation, I can guarantee you that Triple H was there to talk to everybody on top of what he was already brought in to do, to sit in Gorilla and fill in for Bruce. He probably made the most of his time to talk to all of the disgruntled talent. Why are people frustrated with Bruce Prichard? Because of exact reasons I gave to you, not only in the opening monologue of the story, but the reasons I gave you here. He's a bullshit artist. He handles his role as executive director. He's terribly unpopular with the talent because of the way he handles his role. He will do what he has to do to stooge a story to Vince McMahon and push his own agenda. He likes to see people he likes to get elevated, and he buries those who he doesn't like for no reason whatsoever. But he's a bullshit artist. Every businessman is a bullshit artist in some way, shape, or form. There are bigger bullshit artists than other people in that position. More so, Bruce Prichard is a bigger bullshit artist than Triple H. Triple H himself is a bullshit artist. I know this. Everybody in that position is a bullshit artist. But the one thing the roster hates about Bruce Prichard is the fact that they don't have anybody to talk to. And he will lie directly to their face and then bury them for it, to Vince McMahon pushing his own agenda. The thing with Triple H is there. He is a shoulder for these talents to cry on. That talent that is frustrated knows Triple H cares. That's why they go and talk to Triple H. Now, Triple H has absolutely nothing that he can do with former talent that he once had control over, now because they're in control on Monday Night Raw to Vince McMahon. But Triple H is a father to most of these people that were called up from NXT that have just wasted away on Monday and Friday night. He is a father figure to these people, and they find comfort in going to talk to him because he, at one point, took care of them. If they were unhappy, he made it right. If they were creatively unhappy, he found something for them to do, whether it came quick or whether it came a little bit in the future. People always had a shoulder to cry on when it was with Triple H. They don't have that with Bruce Prichard. They don't. And the roster knows that. So from me to you, to the people who are frustrated, I will say this. If you're a Ricochet, or if you're an Aleister Black, or if you're a Matt Riddle, or anybody that's disgruntled on this show, Ali, the best way to get back at these people is to have your contract end. Do not show your cards. Do not give any idea to them that you may want to leave. Just quietly go about your business, ride this shit out, ride your contract out, and when your contract is up, you don't have to sit there and negotiate with them because you're not interested. You don't have a fucking 90-day non-compete clause looming over your head. You go and do what you got to do. You show up on AEW. You do what you got to do behind the scenes. Maybe talk to AEW about possible interest. And when that date comes, you sign, you show up on Dynamite 2 weeks later. Or AEW Dark, or if at that point AEW has a Saturday night Dynamite show, whatever the case may be. Or if you want to go to New Japan, get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. As long as this company is under control of Vince McMahon and Bruce Prichard, this show on Monday and that show on Friday will absolutely suffer 1,000 deaths. You may get a good show thrown in between. I'm not saying all the shows are bad, but the majority of the shows are absolutely unbearable to watch. Monday Night Raw is at a point where it is excruciatingly fucking unbearable to sit there for 3 hours and watch. If you are a new superstar that is interested in joining the WWE, WWE just signed the Rascals. Everybody but Trey Miguel. They signed 2/3 of the Rascals. Why? I don't know. I do know they're going to NXT, but don't you think they jumped the gun on signing with the WWE? That's great for them. They're seeing more money. Good for them. But at some point, you are going to look back at your career and think, what the fuck did I do? I took the money. The money was good in the time that I took it, but I'm not happy about where my career is advancing. You should always want to be going up. You never want to go here and then quickly here. Or you never want to go here and just flatline and not go up, right? It's all right if you go up in increments, but that's not the way it happens in WWE. You go up and then you go down because they don't like you. One day they like you, 1 week they like you, the next week they don't give a shit about you. And then they don't give a shit about you for the next 3 years. Or if you go up and then you just do this, because they don't want anybody to be bigger than the brand. They don't want anybody to be bigger than Raw. They don't want anybody to be bigger than SmackDown, unless you are deemed like a Roman Reigns. So you'll go here and you'll just stay here. Like a Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens was on a trajectory to do this. And then they just did this with Kevin Owens because he was getting too big. Or anybody. It could be anybody in that role. Daniel Bryan, Seth Rollins. I document Seth Rollins back in 2018 all the fucking time when he was Intercontinental Champion. He was going this. He was doing this. And then they killed him. They killed him. He was never the same again. If you are a new superstar, do not sign with the WWE. Unless you really, really want a situation where you're looking back at yourself and your career and saying, man, it could have been so much better. Get your feet wet in an AEW, in an MLW, in a Ring of Honor, in a New Japan, whatever the case may be. Do not immediately jump to the WWE. I'm telling you this right now. This is why shows like this, like mine, exist. I give you the eyes that I watch the shows from, and I project that onto you. Whether it's right or not. I'm not right all the time, but I have a pretty good, keen sense on what's going on here. Bruce Prichard is an absolute fucking cancer to everything that is Monday night and Friday night. And I guarantee you, like I know my own goddamn name, if Bruce wasn't there and Vince had 50% of the power that he now wields cut from underneath him, and he let somebody like a Triple H or a Paul Heyman run the show, the shows would be better off for it. I would not be on here Monday or Friday night completely critiquing the show and breaking it down and shitting all over every fucking segment. I know this for a fact. And until we get to that point, none of these shows will ever resemble what we want them to be. Bruce Prichard is the root of all of the problems in WWE. It's easy to blame Vince McMahon. We're coming for Bruce Prichard's head. He is the root of the fucking cancer in WWE. Once he is removed, we are on our way to a recovery on Monday and Friday night. The holiday season is upon us, ladies and gentlemen. That means Santa Claus is about to come down the chimney, leave you whatever you ask for this holiday season, steal your cookies, drink your milk. But all I know is that if you didn't ask Santa Claus for a Ridge wallet, I don't know what the hell you're doing this holiday season, man. If you guys want something that's going to take all the stress off of yourself as far as getting a gift for your father, getting a gift for your uncle, getting a gift for your best friend, maybe a gift for yourself. If you're a wife or a girlfriend and you don't know what to get your husband or boyfriend, the Ridge. The Ridge is your simple solution to all of your holiday woes, man. This video is brought to you by the Ridge wallet. It's light, it's sleek, it's industrial, it doesn't fold awkwardly or bulge in your back pocket, and it seriously changed my entire outlook on my wallet game. Now, I know most people still using wallets designed in the 90s. They're fat, they rip, they're disgusting. It's very George Costanza-like. You guys know what I'm talking about. Why are you carrying around old photos, hotel room keys? You got whatever else you got in there, old receipts, gift cards. Why do you need all that stuff? Why do you need all that stuff? Why are we still carrying around old wallets and flip phones designed in the 90s when you got a Ridge wallet and brand new technology in 2020? I don't understand you guys. I really don't understand you. The Ridge wallet holds up to 12 cards plus room for cash. I got the cash clip, the money clip. I love it. You guys want a strap? You can opt in for the cash strap as well. It's over 30 colors. Over 30 colors for the Ridge wallet, man. I got the Forged Carbon. I think it's fantastic. It fits my personality so well, man. You want carbon fiber? They got it. You want burnt titanium? They got it. You want aluminum? They got it. I really love it, but don't take my word for it, man. They got over 30,000 five-star reviews on Google alone. The durable materials means that it comes with a lifetime warranty. You can buy one wallet and own one wallet for the rest of your life. The Ridge team is also so confident that you'll like it, they'll give you 45 days to test drive it. If you don't like it, they'll give you a full refund on your purchase, man. The Ridge, ridge.com/script is your way to get yourself a Ridge wallet. You're going to enter code SCRIPT at checkout for 10% off. The one main thing I love about the Ridge wallet, man, is that it has RFID blocking qualities. Knowing that wherever I go, whether I'm out shopping or I'm at a bar or I'm anywhere, a concert, a venue, an event, you name it, I know that with my Ridge wallet, with the RFID blocking technology, I know my card information and my ID information are safe from digital hackers and pickpocketers, man. Get 10% off today using code SCRIPT by going to ridge.com/script. That is 10% off and free worldwide shipping. Guys, if you ain't getting the Ridge this holiday season for your loved one, I don't know what you're doing, man. Ask Santa Claus this holiday season for the best wallet game in town. That is the Ridge. Ridge.com/script. There was no bigger story than the Stinger. The icon, Sting, showing up on AEW. This has led to a bunch of geeks in the community arguing, oh, but if it was WWE, you'd shit all over it, man. Folks, I don't want to ruin your parade over here, okay? I don't want to ruin your parade, but AEW is now bringing in Sting to be the number one guy in the company. They're not bringing in Sting to give a world title to. They're not bringing in Sting to put over their youngest top-tier talents, the guy that's going to be the face of the company. They're not doing any of those things that WWE typically does and that we've seen with Goldberg. So if you're comparing this move to Goldberg, you're a complete fucking idiot. Number one. Number two, I'm glad you're not running my business because my business would be fucking bankrupt if you were running my business. Now, no matter if you look at Sting as a legend, if you're a fan of Sting, or if you hate Sting, if you hate the move, if you're one of these fucking idiots on social media, but he's 61 years old. He can't do anything. I'm not looking for him to do anything. This is a business move by Tony Khan. And who knows what Steve Borden's intentions were. Maybe it was this towards WWE. Now, I don't think Sting is going to go on Dynamite next week and badmouth WWE or badmouth the establishment. I don't think that's going to happen. He's too good for that. He's too good for that. I think whatever happened over there, it's water under the bridge. It's been 5 years since he wrestled his last match. Whatever the case may be. I don't think he's going there to badmouth WWE like everybody else did. The Revival, FTR, whatever the fuck you want to call them, Miro, Cody. Right? They're not going to go over there and talk WWE Or Sting is not going to go over there and talk WWE like the other guys did, okay? Will Sting wrestle? Will Sting wrestle? The answer is no. The answer is no. I don't think he's going to wrestle. That's just my personal opinion on that. But Dave Meltzer reported that several details about Sting's plan have come to fruition. Now, for starters, Meltzer explained that they timed the AEW Sting appearance just in time for Christmas. Good thing these geeks on social media are not running my business, their business, or anybody's business, for that matter. This was a brilliant move by Tony Khan. Sting had the fastest selling t-shirt of all time on Pro Wrestling Tees. Instantly sold out. That is a t-shirt, a hat, and a hoodie with the winter theme, AEW Sting theme, sold out. This is a brilliant move by Tony Khan because he's not getting any other revenue from any other sources as far as ticket revenue or ticket sales for these shows weekly or pay-per-views every quarter. So this is a great move. This is revenue that he probably wouldn't have seen, and now he's just adding that revenue on top of the already great revenue that he's seeing from Shop AEW. This is unbelievable. And it's going to bring worldwide attention to the brand, more so than anybody else that you could possibly think of, and the right kind of audience as well, wrestling audience, not the casual fucking idiots that come over from ESPN or UFC or fucking NBA or Shaquille O'Neal or whatever the case they were planning with Shaquille O'Neal, Mike Tyson. That's the type of audience you don't want, because those people stop by for a cup of coffee and then they leave. They never return. With the Sting audience, you're grabbing the casual wrestling fan. You're grabbing the kind of iffy fan that's out there that watches but then don't watch on a weekly basis. Now they'll watch, maybe. Then you got that old TNT audience that when they turn the channel on or if they are on social media and see Sting show up on AEW, holy shit, I used to watch him in the 90s on WCW. It's on TNT. I got to tune into this. He tapped into a multi-generational fucking audience with this move. On top of a great business move, because he made all the extra revenue with the t-shirts being sold out. Number one, instantly. Good thing you're not running my business, you fucking virgin geek. Oh, but he's 61 years old. This is not a move that should be compared to Bill Goldberg. He's not coming in to win the world title, clown. He's not coming in to bury top talent. He's not coming in to take spots away. He's coming in to help. He's coming in to mold. He's coming in to guide. He's coming in as far as brand recognition for the general AEW concept. Do you need any more knowledge on the situation? Give me a break. So they correlated this with Christmas. Excellent idea. Excellent idea. Whoever's idea it was, you fucking nailed a home run. Not only that, but Meltzer revealed that the former face of WCW will be a regular on AEW Dynamite, as opposed to WWE, where he only appeared sporadically. Now, although it's unlikely that Sting will wrestle another match, Meltzer suggested that he could get physical. He says, and I quote, "They wanted the idea of the big star from the old generation TNT being back as a regular. Whatever physical stuff he does, they're going to do very safely. There will be physical stuff, but I don't think he'll be taking any bumps or anything like that. He's in. He's going to be a character in some form." End quote. Following his AEW debut, the company announced in a statement that Sting had signed a multi-year contract. This was then further elaborated on by Fightful and Sean Ross Sapp. Sting's last wrestling match took place 5 years ago against Seth Rollins at the 2015 Night of Champions pay-per-view. Sting suffered a serious neck injury during the match on a buckle bomb that was canceled from WWE television, only to be brought back again earlier this year after Nia Jax injured Kairi Sane, if you guys remember that, and then it was brought back, with Rollins scoring the pinfall victory in that match with Sting. Listening to the advice of doctors, Sting decided to retire from in-ring action. He made the announcement at the 2016 WWE Hall of Fame induction, and that's the reason why he joined the company, folks. WWE went after the one name they couldn't have so that they could get ratings, they could get pay-per-view buys, and they could induct him into the Hall of Fame. WWE did not give a shit about Sting. Nobody in that company gave a shit about Sting. he wrestled Triple H at WrestleMania when it should have been The Undertaker because Triple H needed to add another name to the list of victims on his resume. And the one name that nobody thought he would have is Sting. And then when the opportunity came up, he put his name on the list of people that he needed to beat at WrestleMania. Everybody in WWE used Sting for their own betterment. They didn't give a fuck about Sting or building Sting up as a entity on WWE television. They merely used him for WWE gain. Steve Borden didn't gain anything out of it as far as that character is concerned. Sting's last wrestling match, like I said, was 2015 Night of Champions. Neck injury, he lost to Rollins. He retired in the 2016 Hall of Fame. Sting made his AEW debut on the Winter is Coming episode of Dynamite. Much to the excitement of fans, it remains to be seen how he's going to be used moving forward, but everybody is excited about his promo that is scheduled for next week. Like I said, shirts wasted no time becoming the top-selling piece of merchandise on Pro Wrestling Tees following his appearance. He will be a regular, like Meltzer said, on AEW television. He will function in a managerial role, is what is being reported, either managing another wrestler or acting as a general manager, like I mentioned on the post-show Wednesday. But a listing, this is where it gets a little fuzzy. A listing suggests he could also wrestle. Now, Meltzer said no. I think he will be either a manager or a general manager on Dynamite. And I do think that the show could use a general manager in some way, shape, or form. And Sting, being that outlaw vigilante, I think could play very well on Dynamite. Especially on TNT with that casual audience who may not watch, but will watch for Sting if he's going to have a regular role in the show. It's going to be great. Now, one listing suggests otherwise. Sting is featured pretty boldly on the AEW men's roster page on the company website. The page doesn't say that all of the males on there are active performers, but everyone has a win-loss record, with Sting the only one who hasn't wrestled in a match for the promotion, and they list him at 0-0. Also pointing to the possibility that the fact of the matter is that he will be a wrestler. Now, there are persons not listed on the roster page who work as regulars on Dynamite, like Taz, Arn Anderson, and Tully Blanchard. They're featured as coaches. But Sting is listed as an active member of the roster. And managers aren't displayed on this page either on AEW's website. Now, of course, this isn't quite enough to go on, but it also plays as it's an encouraging sign that he will, some way, shape, or form, do some wrestling for Dynamite or AEW. Now, the promo hopefully answers all of our questions that remain unanswered right now. It was suspected that he might just do that if WWE did not renew his Legends deal, meaning join AEW, because the rumors and speculation were running wild. Now, at 61 years old, Sting is considered to be one of the greatest legends of all time, and his signing with AEW is a huge get for the upstart promotion that's been around for a year and a couple of months. It was hoped that we could get an iconic match with The Undertaker. Apparently there was news about that. The Undertaker, Sting didn't happen because Vince McMahon didn't want it to happen. Sting wanted a cinematic match with The Undertaker, and Vince McMahon vetoed and said no to the cinematic match with The Undertaker, citing reasons that he didn't get the appeal of The Undertaker and Sting being in the same ring. Now, the reason why that match didn't happen, folks, is because The Undertaker is Vince McMahon's greatest creation. And if Vince McMahon's greatest creation is going to be in there with something like Sting benefiting off of that, and Sting had nothing to do with being a WWE entity, it was all a WCW concept and a WCW gimmick and a character, Vince is not going to put someone in there like that to benefit from that. That's not a WWE talent. I mean, that is pretty self-explanatory. I don't need to discuss that any further with you or elaborate on that any further with you. That is the case of all of this situation with Sting and The Undertaker and why it didn't happen. Then he got hurt, and we all knew that at that point it was never going to happen. But if Sting remained with the WWE, the likelihood of it happening may be for Saudi Arabia, because WWE really doesn't have any pull over what is featured on that show. They got to do what the Prince wants. If the Prince wants Sting and The Undertaker, then WWE is going to give the Prince Sting and The Undertaker. But now they can't do that because Sting signed a multi-year deal with AEW. But the reason why we didn't get it when we should have gotten it before all this Saudi talk or the Saudi deal over there for Super Showdown Crown Jewel is because of the reasons I just gave to you. It's not rocket science. This is a good move. This is a great move. Sting's debut, I talked about this on Wednesday's post-show. I will not go into this any further than this. Brilliant. The presentation with the music, fantastic. The snow, brilliant. Sting coming out, him looking fabulous with the trench coat, pulling the bat out of the trench coat. Everything just put together, man, was just unbelievable. One of the best debuts I think I've possibly ever seen. Really. They did it right where WWE failed. They never used Sting, nor did they care to use Sting in any capacity. AEW respects the legacy and the legend that is Sting, and they were going to give him a proper introduction. And this was unbelievable. This is going to be so good for AEW, but everybody's riding that high horse. They're pulling their hat off and they're resting their laurels on, oh, but if this was WWE, JD would be shitting all over it. If this was NXT, JD would be shitting all over it. Because I know exactly what NXT or WWE would be doing or using Sting for in this situation. I know AEW is not going to do that. I know they're not going to do that. They're going to use Sting to benefit the overall company. WWE would be using Sting to benefit them monetarily. Tony Khan respects Sting more so than just monetarily. He's thinking of not only monetarily, but he's thinking of TNT. He's thinking of that old school audience that might not be watching on a week-to-week basis. That iffy fan, that might not be watching at all. You know, Jericho might not be enough to grab all those people that used to watch WCW back in the day, or that lapsed fan that just has given up on wrestling altogether because of the perception WWE continues to give them week in and week out and how terrible their fucking show is. Now you got somebody that they ultimately never lost respect for back on TNT. This is going to be a fabulous decision. For the business side of AEW, this is going to be awesome. I don't think he wrestles. I think he ends up in a managerial role or a general manager role. I do think that the show at this point, with the way that it's taking shape and the fact that we're getting an additional show on TNT somewhere in 2021, I do think that him being a general manager would be excellent television, and I know they would not make the general manager more important than everything else. If the general manager is Sting and he's booked like William Regal is on NXT, I think this is going to be a brilliant move for AEW. We will see what happens there, but I think this is a fabulous move for Tony Khan and AEW. AEW's winter is coming. Dynamite does best key demo rating of 2020. They absolutely destroy NXT in viewership. So the ratings are in, and AEW did not quite break 1 million like I expected them to. We might be looking at 1 million next week. In fact, I predict they will be at 1 million next week, with Sting making his official first appearance on Dynamite to speak to everybody. AEW was up, NXT was down. AEW had a loaded card for its Winter is Coming special, which we now know was the unveiling of Sting. Unadvertised debut of Sting, as well as Kenny Omega beating Jon Moxley in a screw job to win the AEW World Heavyweight title. Wednesday's NXT episode was a go-home show for a very lackluster and unappealing, unexciting TakeOver War Games. That's not to say the card's not good. I'm just not excited, and people are just not generally excited about what's happening with War Games this year, for reasons that are obvious. Dynamite drew 913,000 live viewers, and NXT drew 658,000 live viewers. Last week, AEW and NXT tied for the ratings on Thanksgiving, 712,000 each. That was actually readjusted earlier in the week this week, and the ratings were drawn even. So this week, Dynamite blew away NXT. As is most cases, most weeks, AEW won the 18 to 49 demographic. They did a 0.42 in the 18 to 49, which is their best of the year. NXT did a 0.16, and everything else they did not chart as far as NXT is concerned. The only thing that matters is the 18 to 49, and that is where they make most of their money. That was the best rating for them all year. We had a battle royal on Dynamite that we seen Orange Cassidy and MJF end up winning. And we get a match next week for the Dynamite Diamond Ring between MJF and Orange Cassidy. That should be good. Jericho and Frankie Kazarian, that happened on Dynamite. And MJF and Sammy Guevara had a little back and forth that teased a possible dissension between those two and the Inner Circle. Jericho gave the Inner Circle 7 days to come up with a solution. Otherwise, the Inner Circle is done. And then, obviously, Jon Moxley, the other big thing that happened on the show. We got Jon Moxley losing the AEW title thanks to Don Callis, who is the Impact brains of the operation, Impact Wrestling's number one guy. He showed up on Dynamite, screwed Jon Moxley. It seems to be a plan that was in place, and Jon Moxley lost the AEW title. Kenny Omega is the new AEW champion. Don Callis says, if you want an explanation from the champ, you got to watch Impact on Tuesday. I was going to say Wednesday. Might as well be. Everybody's going to be watching AEW on Wednesday anyway, but Impact is on Tuesday, and Kenny Omega apparently was not a part of their last set of tapings. If Kenny Omega is going to be on the show, it's going to be something that was filmed after the fact and integrated into the show. I will be watching. I have to bear through Josh Matthews for 2 hours, but I will be watching just to see if or when Kenny Omega shows up and says something on Impact on Axis. And then Thunder Rosa showed up and attacked Britt Baker. We are headed for a collision course between those two on AEW television. NXT was the go-home show for TakeOver War Games. Leon Ruff and Damian Priest defeated Legado del Fantasma. That was Santos Escobar and Raul Mendoza. Prior to the match, Damian Priest and Joaquin Mendoza had a physical altercation in the back, leading to his being taken out. So that is that there. Leon Ruff, Damian Priest, and Johnny Gargano will do battle at TakeOver for the North American Championship. Hopefully they could right the ship there for the North American Championship because it being on Leon Ruff is an absolute fucking disgrace. Cameron Grimes defeated Austin Gray. And you wonder why I don't watch NXT, folks. I just don't give a shit about the characters that they have on their show. Grimes did a decent job putting over Gray in this match. Afterwards, Dexter Lumis beat Grimes with a strap. They've got a strap match at War Games. Jake Atlas defeated Tony Nese. Tony Nese is always great. I've been a big fan of Tony Nese. Jake Atlas just bores me to fucking tears. Pat McAfee once again cut a great heel promo on the Undisputed Era, calling all the fans basement dwellers with stupid moms, losers, etc., etc. It is at a point right now where Pat McAfee is the best thing about NXT. And I don't know if that is good or bad, but he's good at what he does. It just doesn't say a whole lot about the fucking brand in my eyes. The Grizzled Young Veterans, they battled Imperium to a double DQ after Everrise attacked both teams. Everrise was scheduled to take on the Grizzled Young Veterans, but they were attacked by Imperium prior to the start of the match. And we got a great match between Shotzi Blackheart and Raquel Gonzalez, a ladder match for the advantage of TakeOver War Games. Io Shirai returned, giving the assist to Team Shotzi after Team LeRae attacked. So that is that. Shotzi and the babyfaces get the advantage in War Games, which usually goes to the heels. So that is that, folks. NXT was not very good this week outside that Shotzi match with Raquel Gonzalez. Other than that, I didn't give a fuck about anything else on that show. I really didn't. And War Games, the build for War Games is not terribly exciting at all. You know, normally I am just over the moon excited about War Games. It's been one of the best matches that WWE has put on all year. It still very well may end up that way, but the excitement going into this match is just non-existent right now. It really is just non-existent. So we'll see what happens on Sunday night. I will be live on YouTube. Triple H, he had a conference call for about a half an hour talking about War Games with the media. Triple H says WWE is open to working with other promotions. Now, this obviously comes off the heels of AEW working with potentially Impact Wrestling. After AEW made headlines after their partnership with Impact Wrestling was made public, the next day Triple H fielded a question because, of course, some fucking geek on this conference call asked about AEW and Impact. And he said the company is open for business to work with other promotions. During the recent media call, Triple H stated that WWE is always open to work with other companies. He said that it's all about what is beneficial to them in the long term. The long term for WWE is 5 or 10 years down the line and not just a couple of months. We're open for business in a lot of ways and with a lot of things. People's thoughts and misperceptions, their perceived knowledge of what we do and how we think is often greatly misinterpreted and not accurate. Are we open to the right business opportunities? Yeah. At any given time, we're open to things. It just depends on what they are and if they're beneficial to us in the long term. When I say long term, I don't mean 3 months. I mean 10 years. Long term. That's how we think. We're not necessarily worried about minute by minute. Open for business. I think Vince says that a lot, and I've been around him long enough that if it's the right thing to do and meaningful to business, he's open to anything. End quote. That is absolute. I told you before, Triple H is a bullshit artist. He's a good bullshit artist. The roster wants to talk to Triple H because he knows they or he will nurture them. Whoever they are, they know Triple H is going to nurture them like a father figure. They can't get that with Bruce. Triple H in this case is full of shit. Okay? First of all, WWE's not open to working with anybody. They'll either want to buy you out or steal all of your talent and put you out of business. That's number one. Number two, Vince wants to work with another promotion. Who exactly is there to work with? New Japan? I don't think Vince would want to work with New Japan. Who the fuck is over there that Vince gives a shit about? He don't even push the fucking talent that comes over from Japan that he now employs on his company on his own fucking shows. He's going to want to push them. He's going to want to buy them out or fucking use their talent. He don't give a fuck about anybody over there. They're not even known to anybody over here. Barely. So why is Vince going to go over there and give a shit about New Japan? AEW, he's done everything possible to fucking kill AEW. That's not going to benefit WWE in any way. If anything, it's going to be beneficial to AEW. Which is the point I want to make. How is Triple H going to sit there and say he's open to working with other promotions if they're beneficial for WWE when legitimately nothing is going to be beneficial for WWE? Anybody that works with WWE, they're going to be the ones benefiting. The only way WWE benefits from another promotion is what I just said. Either they steal all of their talent, poach all of their talent, or put them out of business completely by doing so, or outright buying them, like they did Evolve. That's WWE's long-term vision, 5 to 10 years. They took all of the Evolve talent. That talent's going to dwell on NXT for the next couple of years, and that's going to be the building block for WWE to use as they build their future. That's what he's talking about, not working with somebody to put on a super show that's going to generate interest for 2 or 3 months. They're not in that business. And no matter what happens here, Triple H comes off like he's desperate for attention again. Oh, look, they did something, so I got to talk about it and give a bullshit answer because people don't think we're cool anymore. And by the way, additionally, Triple H thinks, yeah, we're open for business, like he's the one that makes those decisions, really. Triple H says we're open for business. It's Vince and only Vince that makes that decision, and the answer 1,000% of the time will be no. They're not open for business because Vince McMahon will never do it no matter how much Triple H wants to say Vince is open for business or potentially will maybe give it a thought. It's not going to happen. It really isn't. It will never be beneficial for WWE. They poached and killed every promotion under the sun. What else do they need to benefit from? You've slaughtered the independent scene. Everything that you have, you should be now putting in a position to benefit you long term, but you look at it and fucking kill it on the main roster. None of it makes sense. Whatever he said is just mind-numbingly fucking stupid. It really is. Speaking of Impact, 2 former Impact stars sign with WWE. WWE has announced that Desmond Xavier, real name Devon Everhart Icon, and Zachary Wentz, Zachary Green, were among the names that reported to the Performance Center this week. They both wrestled in the Rascals stable on Impact Wrestling, and they finished up with Impact last month. There was nothing said about Trey Miguel. WWE has also announced that Alex Zane, real name Alex Brandenburg, And Sojuru Higuchi and Anrael Howard with Russ Taylor have also reported to the PC. Zayn has wrestled for Game Changer Wrestling, Black Label Pro, and Ring of Honor. Higuchi has wrestled for Wrestle One and All Japan Pro Wrestling. Good luck to getting a WWE career that is meaningful with that guy. Howard is a former WNBA player with the Seattle Storm. She also played college basketball at Mississippi State and Texas A&M. Taylor wrestled in Japan and for WXW in Germany. Desmond Xavier and Zachary Wentz did sign with the WWE. Trey Miguel did not. A lot of people are probably wondering what's going on with Trey Miguel, the unsigned member of the Rascals. He was both considering WWE and AEW. He has not made a decision yet. He has not made up his mind just yet. It's interesting that he decided not to sign with WWE along with Xavier and Wentz. The Rascals still could end up together on NXT, but Trey Miguel could also decide to go on his own in his own direction. Now, when I read that, I think two things. One, the Rascals should be fine in NXT. After that, goodbye. I'm telling you right now, I'm telling them, I'm telling everybody that is a fan of them, they will amount to nothing on the main roster. And if they do, I would be absolutely floored. And I will admit that I'm wrong. But I see nothing but 205 Live in these guys' future. NXT is the ceiling for these guys. They will not get pushed on the main roster. Vince will see nothing in them. Nothing. Trey Miguel is probably thinking that same thing. If I'm a betting man, Trey Miguel did not sign with the WWE and go with his two friends here because he realizes what awaits them. It might be good now, but what awaits them in the future is ultimate disappointment. He knows exactly what is awaiting them if their careers move on from NXT. So he hasn't made a decision yet. And he's going to think long and hard. He should think long and hard about that decision. Whether he shows up in AEW or WWE remains to be seen. Hopefully he makes the decision that best makes him happy. But I guarantee you that's the reason why he did not sign with Desmond Xavier and Zachary Wentz. So we'll see what happens. That tag team division definitely needs more bodies. All the WWE tag team divisions need more bodies. But NXT was a staple for tag team wrestling in the company. They did it right. They did it better than anybody else until AEW came along and developed the best tag team division on the planet. So they need tag teams down there. So they'll fit right in perfectly. Maybe get a new gimmick. I don't know if they'll be the Rascals. I don't know. Maybe Triple H is going to repackage them as something completely different. But they definitely need tag teams down there, and they'll fit in there. After that, it ain't looking too good, man. It ain't looking too good at all. I know. All you have to do is watch and take history and make it your best friend. Guys like that, they do not succeed on the main roster. Davey Boy Smith Jr. He departs MLW. Now, MLW started its 2020 Opera Cup, and the reason why I'm talking about this now is because I do think this is going to factor into NXT. Low-key defeated Davey Boy Smith Jr. in the opening round of the tournament. This came after Smith lost to Jacob Fatu in an MLW World Heavyweight title match on the MLW Restart episode. After this week's show, MLW CEO Court Bauer, who, by the way, was teasing something major as if it's a War of the Worlds type deal going on, who's to say that MLW is not going to end up joining the Impact ranks and joining forces with them to battle AEW? I don't know. Maybe it's some sort of talent exchange back and forth. I don't know. Brian Pillman Jr. is over there on AEW. He came over from MLW, right? He's on AEW Dark right now in a tag team, the Fabulous Blondes or something like that, with Griff Garrison, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm not sure if he still has an AEW contract on the table or if he has an MLW contract still in effect. I have no idea. I don't know. So Court Bauer was teasing a War of the Worlds type deal, major announcement coming that he really can't talk about at this given point in time. So more on that a little bit in the future. But Court Bauer, the CEO, took some questions that included the status of Davey Boy Smith. This is where Bauer confirmed that Smith was finished with MLW. Davey Boy's exit in the opening round of the Opera Cup marks an end of this chapter for Davey Boy Smith in MLW. I have immense gratitude for Davey and his contributions inside MLW over the past 2.5 years. The MLW system was a great fit for him, winning the 2019 Opera Cup as well as his run as a World Tag Team Champion, a certified beast. Davey Boy Smith Jr. is the real deal, and I wish him luck with whatever comes next. End quote. Now, it was reported last month that Smith's MLW deal was slated to expire, and he had interest from several promotions, including WWE, AEW, Impact, New Japan, and more. He wrestled in New Japan, I do believe, for a couple of years. Smith has appeared on WWE's The Bump as of recently, and he was supposed to induct his father into the Hall of Fame this year. It was very interesting to see him on The Bump, and it's interesting to see where he ends up. I do not think he goes to AEW. I do not think he goes to AEW. New Japan is always an option because he's familiar over there. He's familiar with that over there. But as far as NXT, I do think NXT needs some talent after Vince McMahon has poached NXT of its talent all year long and done nothing with it. I feel NXT needs some legitimacy. I feel NXT needs a nice shot in the arm, no matter where it comes from. I'm not necessarily saying Davey Boy Smith is a right fit for NXT in the United States. What I'm thinking of is that he is pretty familiar with working overseas. And if Davey Boy Smith is signed to WWE, my take on this is to put him in NXT UK for now and make the graduate steps, or the gradual steps, I should say, to advance to NXT in North America, but give him the NXT UK brand first. I don't know who's over there at the current time. I mean, Walter right now defeated Ilya Dragunov, if I'm not mistaken. I have yet to watch that match, by the way. Walter doesn't have any real, legit opponents over there. There's nobody on that roster that you think is going to take that title off of Walter, and rightfully so, because Walter has been booked like Walter should be booked. But if you bring Davey Boy Smith over there, not only do you give that brand a sense of legitimacy, even more so, at the top of the card, but you're giving somebody an opportunity to wrestle Walter in some damn good matches, and you're giving Walter competition that right now he doesn't have. So I would say, put Davey Boy Smith in NXT UK. If you want to sign him, if you're WWE, put him in NXT UK. Have him make the gradual steps to advance off of that brand like everybody else has. Rhea Ripley did. Tony Storm did. Right? Tyler Bate and all them did. Pete Dunne did. That's the way it's supposed to be used. Get him over there. Get his feet wet over there for 6 months to a year. Then bring him over to the States when things hopefully die down from the coronavirus and it's safer to travel and restrictions are not as strict. But give him Walter. I think that would be great. And I think that would be the proper way to use Davey Boy Smith. I don't think he's going to AEW. I don't. If there was a way to form a new Hart Foundation with Brian Pillman and Davey Boy Smith and Teddy Hart wasn't a fucking asshole, then that would be something really great over there. But they don't have that over there. So I think NXT UK is the best choice for Davey Boy Smith Jr. So we'll see what happens with that. I'll keep you guys posted. The ratings are in for Friday Night SmackDown and the post-Survivor Series show. 1.987 million viewers, which was down from the week prior, which they did a 2.215. First hour saw SmackDown pull in a 2.0, and the second hour did a 1.957. Last week, the show did 2.2 in the first hour and a 2.228 in the second hour. That was a week ago. It pulled an average of a 0.55 rating in the 18 to 49 demographic, which was number 2 for the night. They did a 0.60 rating in the 18 to 49 demo the week before, and that was also number 2 for the night. This was the post edition of SmackDown for the Survivor Series pay-per-view that we just got done with. SmackDown was in the middle of the pack for the night among TV networks and viewership. It was behind 2020, Magnum PI, Blue Bloods, Shark Tank, Dateline NBC, and other shows that topped the charts for network television. Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler defeated the Street Profits because fuck Bruce Prichard and fuck your tag team champions and fuck your tag team division. This, by the way, folks, was a Street Profits team that just beat the New Day at the Survivor Series clean. But this is what happens when you don't have any tag teams in said division. This is what happens when WWE's booking is so fucking lazy that they take the only other team on SmackDown who are the challengers in this instance, like Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler, and they need to make believe they are the number one contenders for the tag team championships. How do you do that? Being that you got no other teams in the division. Oh, that's right, you got to beat the champions clean, so the challengers look like they deserve a championship match at the pay-per-view coming up. Meanwhile, all you did was take the Profits who beat the New Day clean at the Survivor Series and make that win over the New Day at Survivor Series completely irrelevant. It doesn't even matter anymore. And it also, additionally, goes to show you that WWE doesn't give a shit themselves about the concept of Survivor Series and the Raw vs. SmackDown brand warfare, being that they made this terrible creative decision on SmackDown. Just want you guys to know that. Bianca Belair defeated Natalya. Sami Zayn beat Daniel Bryan. I don't know if Sami's going to be feuding with Bryan or Big E. They teased Big E after the match. Sami Zayn obviously cheated. He is a coward champion and took a count out here because Jey Uso attacked Daniel Bryan in the back. Murphy defeated King Corbin. King Corbin is being used in a role to fill in for Rollins because he's going home to be Mr. Becky Lynch. So I don't know if that's good for us or not. It ends the Rollins and Mysterio saga, but now we get somebody that we don't even give a shit about completely. At least Rollins was Rollins. Baron Corbin, I don't think means anything to anybody on SmackDown. So we got that. I don't know what's happening with this now, or Murphy and the Mysterios. Is there going to be a wedding? Baron Corbin, as of last night, had another match with Murphy. Whatever the case may be, I don't care. I don't. Kevin Owens and Jey Uso, they had a singles match, and Kevin Owens destroyed Jey Uso at the end of the show and really just kind of wanted to get under Roman Reigns' skin. Again, I mentioned it in the beginning of the show. If you did not go and watch I didn't watch Talking Smack, I never do, but if you didn't watch Talking Smack, go and find on WWE social media or their YouTube channel the Kevin Owens sit down with Paul Heyman. I don't. And when you watch it, you'll know what I'm talking about. I don't know why segments like that are not on SmackDown. I don't. That's the type of stuff I want to see on Friday night, not on Saturday morning. Got to get with the program, WWE. Monday Night Raw ratings are in. The show was terrible as always. We got Monday Night Raw averaging 1.741 million viewers, but it was up coming out of the Survivor Series. What did I say coming out of the Survivor Series? That was interest coming off of a decent pay-per-view. WWE will more than likely go back to normal, which is exactly what they did. 1.741 million viewers on the USA Network. This is down from last week's show, which drew a 1.808. The 18 to 49 demo saw Hour 1 at a 0.56, Hour 2 at a 0.53, and Hour 3 at a 0.49. Hour 1, 2, and 3 breakdowns are as follows: 1.828, 1763, and 1632. Monday Night Raw was terrible. Monday Night Raw started off with a moment of bliss, a moment of piss with Randy Orton, Alexa Bliss, and Randy Orton realized Alexa Bliss was the Fiend's weakness, which I shit all over, and management shit all over it too, but Vince McMahon thought it was the right decision, implying harm, that he was going to harm Alexa Bliss. The Fiend came out to take her into his arms as Orton smirked and left, realizing that he now knows what he's got to do. I'll talk about that in a second. Jeff Hardy defeated Elias in a Symphony of Destruction match. Trash, where Hardy almost killed himself. I got news on that as well. I hope to never see another Symphony of Destruction match ever again, which I talked about on Monday when I did the post show. I hope now Elias realizes that he wrestled Jeff Hardy for fucking no reason, because Jeff Hardy was not the one that ran him over. It was Sheamus. Or maybe while he was laid up in a fucking hospital bed, he didn't watch SmackDown, which at that point I wouldn't blame him. Slapjack of Retribution defeated Ricochet with assistance from Retribution on the outside. Your career really must be in the doldrums if you're being booked to lose on Monday Night Raw to fucking Slapjack of Retribution. He slapjacked Ricochet all over Monday night, man. Are you going to leave the WWE after your contract's up? I'd love to know. If you re-sign with this company, man, I swear to God, I'm going to shit all over you. I can't wait. Ricochet cannot be that fucking stupid. Miz TV, Miz and Morrison attempted to persuade Sheamus to turn on his tag team partner later that evening. You know what's coming. If you watch any type of pro wrestling, you got Wrestler A and Wrestler B pretending to be friends. They're all good friends. Sheamus is a heel anyway. He's befriending the WWE champion. What's going to happen? He's going to turn into a guy that turns on his best friend, no matter he's a heel or not, which is kind of a dead giveaway. And The Miz chimed in and said, you were a WWE champion. You haven't had a championship in 5 years, and when you did have your last championship, you held it for 2 weeks. Or 2 months, whatever the fucking case may be. But he said Sheamus is a joke, and he's got a joke of a career, and he hasn't won a championship in fucking X amount of years. So you know that was all programmed to get under Sheamus' skin and kind of facilitate the turn on Drew McIntyre, because now he's going to eye the WWE title after what The Miz just said to him. You know it's coming. So they attempted to persuade Sheamus to turn on his tag team partner, which they kind of teased, but they didn't really go through with it yet because McIntyre's got AJ Styles at the pay-per-view. Lana and Asuka defeated Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler in a non-title match. This is their second win over the tag team champions in a row. Nobody gives a fuck about the tag team championships in the women's division. Nobody gives a shit about Lana or Nia Jax. Just give us Asuka and Shayna Baszler, please. And by the way, this was the second week in a row in which Lana pinned Shayna Baszler. Bruce, this is all Bruce Prichard, folks. In what fucking situation, on what planet is that the right decision to make? And who says we want Lana and Asuka teaming up to win the tag team championships? This is all revolving around Charlotte Flair, folks. They're giving Asuka a nice little padding with an extra championship because they know when Charlotte Flair comes back that Asuka's not going to be the Raw Women's Champion. So instead of Asuka losing to Charlotte having no titles, when she loses the title to Charlotte Flair, at least she'll have the Women's Tag Team Championships to back her up. Xavier Woods was announced as the host of the revival of G4 and the network G4 gaming channel. Good for him. I'm excited. I can't wait to watch. Cedric Alexander defeated Xavier Woods as the New Day in the Hurt Business continues on when it makes absolutely no sense. It was exactly the way I told you it was going to be. The New Day has defeated the Hurt Business now twice by pinfall, and the Hurt Business in no way, shape, or form deserve a tag team title opportunity. So what WWE is going to do is they're going to give us, like they did here, Cedric Alexander versus Xavier Woods on Monday Night Raw. Undoubtedly, we will see Shelton Benjamin versus Kofi Kingston. Benjamin would get the win over Kofi Kingston there. So then we got the Hurt Business getting wins in singles capacity over the New Day. And then at that point, it's going to be lobbied by MVP that they deserve another opportunity at the pay-per-view in what I think will be a ladder match for the tag team titles. That's just my prediction, folks. And here's a spoiler. I'm not wrong. Sudden death triple threat match, because I don't know what the fucking sudden death triple threat match is compared to a regular triple threat match. There was nothing sudden about it. Maybe sudden agita while I watch this fucking show. This was to determine a new number one contender for Drew McIntyre at TLC. AJ Styles won over Matt Riddle and Keith Lee. Very good match. Couple of great spots. Some nice sequences, but very predictable. WWE has a problem on their hands. Drew McIntyre's not losing that title. No matter if it's Riddle, AJ, Keith Lee, he was never losing that title. He's not losing to AJ Styles. He's not dropping the title before the Royal Rumble or WrestleMania. They didn't put the title back on him to take it right off of him. Okay? What WWE needs to do here is give me a stipulation to kind of make me care. Because I'm at a point right now, no matter how much they shill it or sell it, oh, it's the first time ever. I don't give a fuck about that. It's predictable. It's the first time ever, but I know Drew McIntyre's also not losing the WWE title. You got to give me a stipulation of sorts to make me care about the match. Other than that, it is overly predictable, and Drew McIntyre going into the pay-per-view is going to walk out of the pay-per-view with the WWE title. Dana Brooke defeated Reckoning, a.k.a. Mia Yim. Her mask fell off. Now, I didn't realize this. Her mask fell off during the match. I thought she wrestled without the mask, which I really wouldn't understand either way, but her mask fell off. So somebody in the back clearly wasn't happy, I'm sure of it, And you got to feel for Mia Yim because she's never wrestled with a fucking mask on her face before. And she's never been in a shitty fucking stable like she has been with Retribution. Ali yelled at Reckoning after the match, saying that there's no failure in Retribution. The fact that they always lose, I guess, might have just went over his fucking head. They've been deemed a failure. What the fuck is he talking about? Now, I don't know if this is going to lead to him kicking her out of the group. By all means, kick her out of the group. I'm sure she would welcome that. A move back down to NXT would probably put a huge smile on her face. And then we got Sheamus and Drew McIntyre versus The Miz and Morrison. Match ended in a DQ win for Sheamus and Drew as AJ Styles attacked Drew McIntyre with a phenomenal forearm. The Miz started to cash in his contract, but Drew McIntyre recovered, and that was foiled. And McIntyre will not be losing the title to Styles, Riddle, Orton, Sheamus, Miz. He's not losing the title. The Miz is going to inevitably fail at a cash-in. They put it on him to make him look like a loser. That's exactly why they put it on him. Otis was already a loser, but they wanted it on somebody that had a little bit more longevity as a loser, I'm assuming. I don't know. Let's cycle back to the Randy Orton situation with Alexa Bliss. WWE opened Monday Night Raw with a moment of piss. Segment continued the feud between Bray Wyatt, The Fiend, and Randy Orton as Alexa Bliss interviewed Orton. Orton brought up his history with Bray Wyatt, and now he knows The Fiend's weakness, which is Alexa Bliss. This led to The Fiend appearing only for Orton to have Bliss in his arms before giving her back to Wyatt, because Wyatt begged to have her back. Orton did so and then left the ring and said, "Who is laughing now?" Clearly not me. I'm laughing at how bad this fucking show is. I'm not laughing at this situation. Randy may be the only one laughing. PW Insider had some backstage details on not only this segment, but the current creative flow of this angle in the company. Regarding the segment, it was said to be 100% Vince McMahon's vision. The report added, and I quote, "We are told that several argued against the segment, feeling it was weak and needed to be overhauled, but you can't overrule City Hall, aka Vince McMahon." End quote. Now, finally, the current creative process right now falls directly in the hands of WWE Chairman Vince McMahon and Bruce Prichard. There were some sources who have described Prichard as the most powerful person in WWE right now, other than McMahon. We just talked about that in extent on that portion of the show earlier on. Currently, everything flows through Bruce Prichard, as his word is described as very much the gospel for McMahon. PW Insider reported Triple H was at last night's Raw, or last Monday's Raw, rather, while Prichard was not, which was described to us by several as a breath of fresh air. This falls in line with what we have been told here at PW Insider about how Prichard operates things as executive director. Fightful is reporting the final draft for this week's show wasn't handed in until 25 minutes before the show started. It was said that the last couple of weeks have also seen some considerable changes. Now, I'm not going to talk about that Bruce Prichard situation. I'm not going to talk about the Triple H situation because I knew he was there. I just didn't, as I read it earlier, didn't know who reported that, but I went over all that. You guys know how I feel about that, okay? The show was not finished until 25 minutes before the show started. I mean, you could just look on WWE.com when they don't announce anything. I'm actually recording this right now on Friday. Let's go to WWE.com right now. They have nothing. It is 5:19 now. They have nothing on WWE.com about tonight's SmackDown. You guys will be seeing this on Saturday at 5 p.m. It's Friday right now at 5:19. They have nothing about SmackDown and what's happening on SmackDown tonight. So I know it's going to be a similar situation where the script is probably not going to be finished until 25 minutes before 8 o'clock. And all you have to do, folks, this is what I do every single week because I get the live streams ready. If there's nothing on the .com, then you know the show is in shambles. I do it every week religiously just to see. Normally, Monday Night Raw has one or two things on there because it's a 3-hour show. They got to give you something. But SmackDown, they got nothing on WWE Shop right now, or WWE.com, rather. But as far as this situation goes, this was terrible. Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt, the segment sucked, and it buried Bray Wyatt with really nothing to do as far as a match even happening yet. So you're probably asking yourself, JD, how did it bury Bray Wyatt? Bray Wyatt was introduced as a hellish, fiendish character that had superpowers, that was untouchable, that you couldn't break him. Nobody figured out what his weakness was. Was it the outfit? Was it the mask? Was it the red lighting that he used to wrestle in? Is it something in the funhouse? Is it Sister Abigail or the spirit of Sister Abigail? Is it one of the fucking puppets? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Nobody was going to know. But now all of a sudden, WWE has booked Alexa Bliss to be the weakness of The Fiend. So The Fiend went from having absolutely all the power in the world, nobody knew how to beat him, nobody knew what his weakness was, to now Monday Night Raw, where his weakness is a woman. Alexa Bliss is his weakness. As far as I'm concerned, folks, that doesn't really make The Fiend look good in my eyes. And it shouldn't make The Fiend look good in your eyes. It actually makes The Fiend look weak. Now he's got a weakness. His weakness is Alexa Bliss. How is that going to be something you sell me on as far as The Fiend goes? We go from this guy being absolutely the most powerful entity outside The Undertaker, mythologically in the WWE, to now his weakness is a human being in the form of Alexa Bliss, a woman. That doesn't make The Fiend look strong at all. You absolutely killed all mystique of The Fiend on Monday night, on top of what you've already done as far as crimes against The Fiend earlier this year. So that's all I have to say there. I could see why people argued about this. It needs to be overhauled. They probably thought the same thing that I fucking told you. But Vince McMahon don't care. He don't care about The Fiend. He don't give a shit about anything. It's his vision. He's going to go with it. Anything for Alexa Bliss, I guess. Everybody in that department on creative knew exactly what was going on here. And the reasons are the reasons I gave you. But good luck trying to show that to Vince McMahon. If it's somebody that he likes involved, he's going to go with it. Doesn't matter if it makes sense or not. Mandy Rose. I got status on Mandy Rose. She took a nasty bump by the hands of Nia Jax. Ringside News has learned that there is no scheduled time frame for her return. It's a week-by-week situation. Obviously, they are trying to avoid surgery, and they are likely going to keep her from going under the knife because they want her back on television. Because that division sucks. As of this week, when mapping out what's to come, they don't have Mandy Rose's return figured into anything as of yet. Things could change if she gets cleared because she's obviously someone WWE wants on television. Dana Brooke has apparently moved on without Mandy Rose. The pairing didn't make any sense whatsoever. Mandy Rose's return is not figured into anything, but Brooke started a feud with The Reckoning out of retribution. So she was responsible for taking Dana Brooke out of the Survivor Series match. In storyline, Brooke and Rose could reunite upon her return, but they are keeping Brooke on television in the meantime, doing her own thing. I don't know if she's going to pair with Dana Brooke when she comes back, but the pairing didn't make any sense at all. You took Mandy Rose off of SmackDown and took her away from Sonya Deville only to put her back in a tag team with Dana Brooke, which even more so doesn't make any sense. Well, it's the same thing they did with Peyton Royce. You took her away from Billie Kay, you put them on separate brands, you broke them up, only to put Peyton Royce in a tag team with Lacey Evans, when the whole premise of the reason why you split them up was to give Peyton Royce a singles run. This company's clueless. Absolutely clueless. And the division, the Raw Women's Division and the SmackDown Women's Division, is fucking terrible. Braun Strowman's injury might not keep him out very long. Brian Alvarez on Wrestling Observer Live noted that Braun Strowman is not scheduled for surgery as of right now. He's rehabbing his injury, and there is obviously hope that he'll return soon. He was written off of Raw with an indefinite suspension in the meantime. He says, and I quote, "The story as noted is that Braun was scheduled to face Drew McIntyre at TLC, but he got the leg injury, and he's rehabbing the leg injury. I didn't hear anything about surgery, just that they are rehabbing it. Presumably, he won't be out that long, but I guess we'll see." End quote. The suspension storyline could turn into Braun Strowman coming back and invading Raw when he's not supposed to be there, lobbying for a chance at the WWE title because he was never given one like all the other guys on Team Survivor Series. It all depends on how quickly he can get cleared to make a return to the ring. So I guess I have to lay off the he runs fast shtick. Because apparently Braun Strowman ain't running anywhere. He ain't running so fast anymore with that leg injury or knee injury, supposedly. So we'll see what happens. Maybe he's running at half speed. I don't know. Braun Strowman off of Monday Night Raw. Folks, you ain't losing anything. I ain't losing anything. The show ain't losing anything. God bless you. Stay off the fucking show. Please. I hope you sit at a train station somewhere and the Strowman Express doesn't come. I hope that express train is suspended indefinitely. Jeff Hardy. What was supposed to happen during Jeff Hardy's Swanton bomb through the table on Elias on Monday Night Raw? PW Insider noted that the spot was originally planned in a way to protect both men. Really now. And Hardy was supposed to clear everything as he crashed through Elias on the center of the table. Hardy missed his mark by a few inches, and that is why he hit his head on the steel steps. On the replay, it looked like Hardy's head may have not hit the steps with full force, likely because Elias on the table took the brunt of the move off the top rope. Meltzer, on Wrestling Observer, noted that there was some concern in WWE that Hardy may have suffered a concussion, but that was not confirmed to be the case because he had yet to be evaluated at the time he had heard that. WWE will continue to monitor Hardy to make sure he is okay. He actually cut a promo on WWE.com in an exclusive, and he looked to be all right. So the original spot was planned to protect both men. I don't see, Bruce, how that was going to protect both men in that situation with as little room for error as possible if the fucking steel steps were still there. How about you move the fucking steel steps and then maybe we wouldn't be in a situation where we could potentially be looking at Jeff Hardy with a fucking concussion. Next time you want to do something like that in said match, whether it's a Symphony of Garbage match or some fucking hardcore street fight, whatever the case may be, where Jeff Hardy has to go through a fucking ladder or a table or some sort of object, maybe move the steel steps next time. The steps should not have been there. I don't remember the steps ever being in that spot with a move being done in that portion of the ringside area. Move the fucking steps. Fucking ridiculous. There was an update on Jeff Hardy after he hit his head on the steel steps. Alvarez says, I got word that he was okay after the spot. I don't know what that means. I've heard that about a lot of people that have been banged up in the head. I think to a degree, going through the table did slow him down, but he still banged the back of his head on the steps. Meltzer said he hit the back of his head, and he grabbed it right away, and he was walking around like he was hurting real bad. That wasn't a sell. He was looking to see if he split his head open, which it didn't appear that to be the case. But he did hit his head. But I had heard there was kind of an expectation that he had a concussion, but he hadn't been diagnosed as having one because that wouldn't come as yet anyway. End quote. Move the steps. Move the fucking steps. Seriously. And finally, guys, about Reckoning and her mask falling off on Monday Night Raw. There's rumor right now that Retribution may be looking for a new female member. She could be leaving the group. Now, Reckoning's mask fell off. I wouldn't know because Dana Brooks in the ring, folks. Where do you think I went? I went into the kitchen to go find a snack or a beverage or make a cup of coffee because anytime Dana Brooks is on fucking television, it puts me into a sleepy state that is very difficult to recover from. So her mask fell off. It wasn't a big deal since everybody knows it's fucking Mia Yim already, right? Ali tried to interfere, but it backfired and Brooke rolled up Reckoning to get the pin. Ali then yelled at Reckoning after the match for losing, so it looks like the mask coming off may have been on purpose to transition her back to being Mia Yim. I don't know yet. This may be the start of the faction disbanding as well. History has shown that most factions in WWE disband within the first couple of months because Vince McMahon gets bored of them. This has happened several times, including 2002 version of the NWO, the WCW, ECW Alliance Invasion, and the Nexus in 2010. If Mia Yim is going to be removed from Retribution, Mia Yim should be brought back down to NXT and be given a proper women's division to compete in. It's funny how she got called up and the division got 1,000 times better than when she was there. You know she wants to be back down there, and you know she wants nothing to do with this horrendous fucking angle on Monday night. She didn't work all of her career to be put in a fucking mask and have her name changed in WWE. That's all I know. That's all I know. Same thing with Mercedes Martinez. None of these guys want to be a part of this shit. It's all fucking garbage. They better be working with something or working on something to get these guys out of the mask and be given their original names back and get their stars on Monday Night Raw like they should be. Dominic Dijakovic, Shane Thorne, Mia Yim, Ali. We got Dio Madden, Mace. Mace is the only one that actually looks legit in that group. If you want to keep him in the fucking mask, keep him with that mask. He looks great with the mask on. Have him be the leader of his own fucking little faction. Other than that, everybody else, they got to either go back down to NXT or be given their proper names and be given an opportunity on Monday. Guys, I'm getting out of here. It's 5:30. I got to get ready for SmackDown. You guys will be seeing this on Saturday. Thank you so very much for all of your support on the podcast. This is episode 354 of Off the Script for your Saturday. This is TakeOver weekend. I'll be live on Sunday night with TakeOver and the post show. Join me then. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206. Follow me on Instagram as well. Same at JD from NY206. Make sure you guys sign up for the Patreon page, man. Support any way you can. You got the baseball mug and the t-shirt and all other perks included in tier 2. That is patreon.com/JD from NY206. Go get your t-shirts. Go get your masks. Everything you need is linked down below. Go check out all the other videos that you might have missed on the channel, including Monday Night Raw and AEW on Wednesday night with SmackDown on Friday. And make sure you guys go and hit that thumbs up, as always, and hit the subscribe button and support the channel. Guys, I will see you all on Sunday night. Until then, hopefully TakeOver War Games delivers, and we will talk about it on Sunday night. Until then, guys, this has been episode 354. I'm JD. I'll see you guys on Sunday night for TakeOver War Games.